This is good racing, ladies and gentlemen, here. Hopkinson on the line. The crowd are going bananas again for another Poole 5-1. Good evening to you, the Pirates TV viewers. Thank you and welcome to Wimborne Road this evening. And do we have a meeting for you this evening? We have the Poole Wessex Marine Pirates taking on the GLASGOW Tigers in the semi-final of the Maxi Cab Knockout Cup. Now, we wonder where this meeting's going to go and how it's going to turn out. So we look at the head-to-heads at 2025. And the Pirates have beaten the Tigers twice this year. Once at home here, 55-33. And they had a nice little win up there, 47-43, up at Glasgow. So you'd say advantage to the Pirates. Possibly not. If you look at the rest of the form of the last month, the Pirates, they've lost one meeting, and that was away at Plymouth in the last month. And Gary May's resurgent Plymouth Gladiators side. And if you look at what the GLASGOW Tigers have been doing in the last month, they've lost just the one meeting. That was away at Workington last weekend. But tonight they have to change side a little. They've got to bring in a couple of guests. They've got to do that because of Danish commitments for one of their riders. Vilas has got to be riding in Denmark and he's replaced by Fraser BOWES. No surprise there. He came and picked up 13 points for Workington right here at Wimborne Road just a few weeks ago. So that's no surprise. And the other guest is Dayle WOOD coming in for the injured Max Perry, who the former Pirate had a bit of a crash at the weekend and he's not fit and declared to ride today. With some more news and some more stuff from the pits, let's head over to Beth, because I think she's got Tobias THOMSEN with her.
Toby, first of all, welcome back to Poole. Of course, we didn't see you when we were away at Oxford last week. First off, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm alright. I just feel like an old man, but that's how you get when you get 2 knocks in one night. But now, to be fair, I think I was lucky. It's only sprained, and as soon the doctor said it's only sprained, I just started using it, and it got better and better each day. So, it's alright.
Going into the first leg of the Knockout Cup semi-final tonight, how is the feeling in the Pirates camp?
We know it's a hard job tonight, so we are firing now. We need to get going tonight. We need to take a big lead up to their place, because they're good around there. So yeah, we're aiming to do something similar as we did to Oxford.
And Glasgow, they're strong opponents, but of course they have got a couple of guests in tonight. Do you think that could help you guys out a little bit? No,
to be fair, I think they're stronger. Because Fraser BOWES, he's fast around here. He showed that earlier in the season, and Vilas Nagel hasn't been here, so I think Fraser is a better choice. And Dayle WOOD on his day, he can be good as well. So you can't really say that the guests can't do the job, because they are more than capable. So we need to fire.
And holding, of course, the knockout silverware, does that add a little bit of pressure to make sure that you're lifting it again at the end of this season? No,
not at all. When you're riding for Poole, there's pressure always. Always. There's no pressure. And look at that knob over there, Cami BROWN.
Toby, I wish you the best of luck and I'll see you later.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks. Yeah.
Cami, a little bit of a play-off there with Toby just before. How are you feeling going into tonight with the boys?
Always nervous down at Poole because we don't really have a very good record here. So one of these days we're going to perform well here. I hope it's today. It's a big meeting. The boys seem up for it, but to be fair to them, they're always up for it when we come here. We just don't seem to do what we come to do. So hopefully this time will be different. But we know the challenge ahead. Poole are awesome round here, so we have to be the best we can be to get anywhere close.
And of course the Pirates did come up to Glasgow earlier in the season. They did win there. Does that give you a little bit more pressure, wanting to get a bit of revenge?
Yes and no, because we've ridden against Poole home and away in the league now, and hopefully if we can win on Friday we finish top of the league anyway, which is nice for us, but that means nothing in the playoffs because we start all over again. This is a cup tie, so we just want to try and keep it close. Obviously we're here to try and win. We don't go anywhere to try and lose, but as long as we keep it close for the second leg and have a chance of getting to the final, that's the plan.
And Glasgow is such a tight team. We can always see that wherever Glasgow are going.
Yeah.
Having a couple of guests in tonight instead of your regular riders, does that affect things a little bit?
It does a bit, but with Fraser's quite friendly with me and some of the boys in our team, so that's nice. And Dayle WOOD's such a nice guy, I don't think there'll be an issue. We do miss Vilas because he's such a talented rider. But Fraser's been here a few weeks ago and did very well, I'm told, here, so it was an obvious choice to get Fraser's guest, so hopefully he can do the same tonight. If he does, we should be there or thereabouts, but as I say, we know how good Poole are around here and we respect it. We don't fear it, but we respect it.
And of course, you've got a really strong number one in here with Chris Harris, but you do have Cruz as well. Secretly between us, who's your favourite?
I've got to say it's Cruz. Cruz is a laugh, but Chris, see, since the day I've worked, I've always been Glasgow team manager when Chris is there, and he's never given me one issue. He's been a model professional. That's why he's still riding at 42 or 43, whatever he is, and I think he can ride to his 50 if he looks after himself, because his average isn't tailing off, it's getting better. But he's not the best gaiter in the world, and I think you have to be quite good at gating here at Poole, so he has to get his gating gloves out tonight if he's going to give us a performance, because the last time we were here we were soundly beaten, and we don't want that tonight. We want to keep it close. I mean, I don't accept defeat very well, but if we can just keep it close to make the second leg, a chance for us to actually win. That's the plan tonight.
Cami, thank you so much for your time.
Listen,
I wish you the best of luck
thank
tonight.
you for the nice questions as well. Different kind of questions rather than the usual Speedway questions. So well done, you guys. Thank you.
So here we go then with the riders for this evening's meeting. So at number one for the Glasgow Tigers is their captain, Chris Harris. At number two comes in as guest, Fraser BOWES. At number three, Dan Thompson. He had a good meeting here a couple of weeks back. Number four is Leon Flint. Number five is the ever-present Kyle Howarth. Number six coming in as guest is Dayle WOOD. And number seven is Freddy HODDER. Team manager tonight for the Glasgow Tigers is Cami Brown. So we move over to the Pirates. And it's a pretty typical 1-7 lineup. It's Richard Lawson at number one. Tobias THOMSEN returns from injury, been out for 10 days with a dodgy ankle, but he's fit enough to ride again tonight. Number three is Lewis Kerr. Number four is Captain Zach Cook. At number five is Anders Rowe. Number six, Paul Starke. And at number seven, William Cairns. And the winningest team manager in British Speedway is the manager again tonight, Neil MIDDLEDITCH. Yeah, so welcome to Wimborne Road. We've had a really nice day today. It's been overcast, not too hot, a bit of wind. We had a last minute bit of water in about an hour or so ago on the track, and the track looks really nice and ready to go. So what a meeting we have in prospect here this evening though. Tobias THOMSEN there just finishing touches, doing up his steel shoe. He's one that has been a doubt for the last few days, but he's declared himself fit to ride. And as he said in his interview, he's been getting better and better the more that he's used it. So I think that's fabulous for him. Really big crowd in tonight for this Maxi Cab Knockout Cup semi-final first leg here. And I think Toby makes a good point. I think they're a little stronger through having guests with them this evening, Glasgow. Really good stuff from them. Here's the Cab Direct Championship. Although the Pirates have turned over the Tigers twice in the Cab Direct Championship, Tigers, as you can see, one match remaining, and that's at home against Edinburgh. So you'd fancy them to pick up the couple of points there and the bonus, and that will take them above the Pirates by a point. So I think that one is on Friday, I believe. So then we will know who picks who. Looking at Edinburgh, they look like they're going to finish fourth no matter. And it'll be all about who the Tigers wish to choose for the playoffs. So here's the head-to-heads since the Pirates have been in the championship, and it's 5 wins out of 5 for the Pirates. It's a sad stat for the Glasgow Tigers. 3 of those 5 wins have been in playoff action, and 1 win obviously in the BSN. Here we go, head to head with the riders and the number 7s. 3 battles these guys have had, 3 advantages to William Cairns. And his high score here being 8. I think that's where the Pirates' secret weapons could be this evening down at reserve. Number 6, the 6s against one another. Dayle WOOD comes in as the guest. Hasn't always gone well here, Dayle WOOD. Does his average here, so we can see that. But as you can see, Poole Starke 100% on the battle average. And he started to come to the fore towards the end of the season, starting to find some gating gloves. So good for Starke. I think he's a big one tonight. Anders Rowe against Kyle Howarth. Slight age gap, bit more experience towards Howarth, but 60% win percentage for Anders Rowe. A high score of 15. 15 points max off of 5, and it's a 15 off of 6. I don't think there'll be much between these two tonight, Howarth and Anders Rowe. And the number 4s, Leon Flint, a really up-and-coming rider. And his win battle looks very good here, 70%. He's a hard charger, really does attack the track, does Leon Flint. He could be a trump card for the Glasgow Tigers this evening. And the Poole captain, Zach Cook, has some work to do this evening if the Pirates are going to bring home the victory. So it's the number 3s head-to-head. Louis Kerr against Dan Thompson. I probably wouldn't have been worried about this until Dan Thompson came here as a guest the other week and really did rip the track up and ride well. 13 from 5 for him. He rode really well. You can bet your bottom dollar he'd be riding the same setup tonight. Louis Kerr, he's been getting better as the season's gone on, and the last few weeks has really dominated the number 3 spot and kept that spot for himself here at the Pirates. At number 2, how fit is Tobias Thompson? We saw in his interview earlier, he knows the threat that Fraser BOWES brings by coming in as guest this evening. He's Toby's opposite number, so Tobias will be wanting to get the better of him nice and early. We know Tobias likes to ride nice and close and nice and quick. How is his ankle feeling? Is he 100%? We will know when the tapes go up on Heat 1. And head-to-head on the number 1s. 2 old muckers, 2 old mates have come through British Speedway. 21 battles here, 13 in the favour of Lawson, 8 to the favour of Harris. You know with Harris you get 110%. He's a former Pirate from 2018, winning the Premiership here with the Pirates. He knows this place like the back of his hand. And I'm looking forward to this matchup tonight, and we'll see it from the off in Heat 1. You can see the bikes are coming across for the parade. And I've now been joined in the commentary box by Rob Dyer. He's been doing a bit of presentation stuff on centre green for a couple of riders. And now joins me in the commentary box. Rob, looking forward to this one.
Yes, thanks, Scotty. Good evening, everybody, whether you be in the UK or whether you're viewing us from much farther afield. We know that's the case nearly every time we broadcast on Pirates TV, so great to have you on board. And on board for what looks like an absolute cracker of a meeting here, with the Pirates taking the first leg of this Knockout Cup semi-final and the second leg up there in Glasgow in a few days' time. So, yeah, all to ride for tonight. And as Scotty's been saying, you know, this Glasgow team, well, obviously second in the league at the moment, but potentially taking over top spot if they can do their business on Friday against the Edinburgh Monarchs. And we're going to have the top 2 teams in the league on parade for a number of meetings over the course of the closing days of this particular season. And they all promise to be something special, I'm sure. And when the Pirates and the Glasgow Tigers come together, you are guaranteed to have a great evening speedway, a great entertaining spectacle. So we've got the Pirates and the Glasgow Tigers there. The bikes are just coming out to finish up for the parade here at the stadium this evening. The sun's just setting in the western quarter over behind the buildings there. And so we're looking forward to what promises to be a super duper night of speedway. In the pits, the riders just preparing to come for the parade. There's Will Cairns in shot there, carrying his Union Jack. And Anders Rowe there just having a conversation about flags, no doubt. Get Anders and Will, they'll be lining up any second now.
Yeah, getting to know Will, aren't we, Rob, as we've gone on. He's having a dance there to the music in the pits. He's the right character, is this young man, the 16-year-old, and why wouldn't you be? You're riding for one of the best clubs in the country, and he just seems to enjoy his race, and he doesn't seem to let anything pressure him.
No, he doesn't. He's learning his trade. Trackcraft in this particular league is obviously a step up from National League and the National Development League standard. But it's coming together bit by bit for Will Cairns, and he will be a key component in the way in which these meetings pan out over the course of the next 10 days or so. So we're into our rider parade, and as you can see, it's the Tigers who lead them out, with Chris Harris there striding away impressively at the front, just as he is in a lot of his races here. We'll pitch over now to stadium announcer Nigel Leahy, and Nigel will take you through the full lineup of rider meetings tonight.
And bidding to retain the silverware they earned last year, and perhaps claim that place in the final. I know you've got a big welcome for our own Poole Wessex Marine Pirates! Welcome one and all to Wimborne Road. If you've made the long journey all the way down from the Scottish borders, and whether or not you're a Pirates fan or a Tigers fan, welcome to Dorset for tonight's clash. Well, the Tigers are finishing the regular season in some tremendous form. They're just a point behind the Pirates in the championship table, and they could just overtake them for top spot if they win their final home league match on Friday. But tonight is all about cup glory, and might just be a preview of what could be in store for both teams in the race for that league title. Let's meet them then once again, please, for the Glasgow Allied Vehicle Tigers. At number 7, Freddy HODDER. Number 6, making guest appearances, Dayle WOOD. Number 5, no stranger to Wimborne Road, Howarth. Number 4, Flint. Wearing number 3 for the Tigers, Thompson. At number 2, a shrewd choice of guest after impressing last time here with Workington, Fraser BOWES. At number 1, he is Mr. Entertainment wherever he goes, the bomber, Chris Harris. So over here, the boys are looking for a big lead to help them in the return leg in Scotland. Are you ready to bring the noise for the Wessex Marine Pirates? Number 7, maturing as a pirate, Will Cairns. Number 6, he's getting some good form, Starke. Number 5, Rowe. At 4, Captain Cook, Cook. Number 3, Kerr. Number 2, the Donut King, Tobias THOMSen. And our number 1, Lawson. All right, the 2 captains, Chris Harris and Cook, are here to to toss the coin for choice of gate positions in heat 1. Tails, Chris calls, and it's heads to give Zach the choice. He's going 1 and 3 for the Pirates in heat 1.
So as the lads check their setups to what they feel the track was going to act like on the track walk. A rare one. Zach Cook wins the toss and Pirates take 1 and 3 in heat 1. So if you are filling your own little programs out at home, Pirates will be off of 1 and 3 in heat 1.
So there we are, we've got the riders heading back into the pits area after their prep laps and the tapes being brought down into position. Just like to mention the meeting sponsors here tonight. Tap and Grape from Broadstone, a very enjoyable location for an after meeting beverage. And 15 newbies from the Tap and Grape here tonight enjoying Speedway at Poole for the first time. And we hope that they have a great evening. Had the pleasure of talking to some of them earlier on, and they're keen to find out more about Poole Pirates and what Speedway's all about. So they've picked a great meeting to come to, and of course it's going to be the first leg of this cup tie, which is sure to generate a lot of interest over the 30 heats that are to come. Pitside view there of riders just getting themselves ready for heat number 1. Richard Lawson there, the Pirates number 1 in the red helmet. Tobias Thompson in the blue helmet there, just buckling up the chin strap. And that is the new helmet, I think, that he's had to purchase from as a result of his crash down at Plymouth quite recently. So quite a bit of mechanical problem and equipment problem for Tobias, but things appear to have sorted themselves out, and he looks as if he's got himself ready to go.
Yeah, innocuous looking crash. I saw it on social media. It was, he kind of got collected. He was minding his own business on the outside, and the guys on the inside kind of got him involved, didn't they? It was no choice. There was no way around it.
Now, it happened, of course, like a lot of these things do. When riders are running into some decent form, they seem to just start to pick up, put scores on the doors, and then something happens and their run gets disrupted. Let's hope that hasn't been too disruptive, though, for Tobias Thompson.
Yeah, my old motocross days, everybody used to tell me you're not getting faster unless you're crashing. That's not the same in Speedway. You could be involved in an incident without even being involved, if it makes sense.
There's Richard Lawson on his way to tapes, and referee Christina Turnbull has put the 2-minute time allowance clock on, and it's running down now. We've got about 1:20 to go before the riders need to be ready to race. So first to the tapes, it's Richard Lawson. Have a look at the Heat 1 statistics in 12 matches here at Wimborne Road this season. You can see there, interesting, the visitors have never recorded a 5-1 in the opening race, and the Pirates would be no doubt hugely relieved at that, but the majority of the time it looks like it's just about going the way of the Pirates with advantage in heat number 1, but those are statistics, and as we know, statistics mean very little when the riders get out on track. Here comes your lineup with Scotty for heat number 1.
So here we go, here's your lineup for heat number 1, sponsored by KD Wardrobes. In gate number 1 in blue is Tobias Thompson for the Pirates. In gate number 2 in yellow, the guest Fraser BOWES for the Tigers. Gate 3 in red, it's the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson for the Pirates. And in gate number 4 in white, needs no introduction, Chris Bomber Harris for the Tigers.
Riders just settling into their positions and starting to move forward. Fraser BOWES is at the tapes, raring to go. The other three guys just rolling up now, and in a few seconds' time we'll be ready to go racing.
Here we go then, heat 1 up and away, and the Tigers look to have made the good start. Lawson goes around the inside of Fraser BOWES and shows him the back wheel. Good stuff there from Richard Lawson. Needed to be strong there, but Harris looks quick.
Lawson and Harris going for it at the front, and Tobias Thompson finds a route past Fraser BOWES into third place. So a useful start so far for the Pirates. How's Richard Lawson going to handle the threat of Chris Harris? Well, he's hugging the inside white line at the moment, making Harris go the long way, and Harris doesn't want to go that way at the moment. He too is sticking down low, keeping it close to the curb. Back about 10 lengths is Tobias Thompson, and it's Lawson and Harris out front. They're both looking behind there. There's no threat coming to either of them at the moment, and it's Tobias Thompson running in third with Fraser BOWES a little bit adrift at the back.
Yeah, so it looks like it's the rider in red. Richard Lawson wins it. So it's red, white, blue and yellow as they come over the line. It's a 4-2 heat advantage to the Pirates. It's the opening heat of this Maxi Cabs semi-final first leg here at Wimborne Road. And as per usual, the Rocket Man plays and the Pirates fans cheer.
Yeah, an ideal start there for Richard Lawson, but he had to hassle his way through on the first bend there to get to the front. But Fraser BOWES had made a pretty good start from gate number 2. Harris had come across from gate number 4, and the Glasgow Tigers went into the first turn together. But Lawson hustled his way through on the inside, and off he went to record his first win of the night. You can see the riders there turning to pits as Richard Lawson in screenshot, and here comes your official result.
So the result of heat number 1, it's a win for Richard Lawson in red for the Pirates. He picks up the 3 points. Second in white for the Tigers was Chris Bomber Harris. In third in blue for the Pirates was Tobias Thompson. And at the back in yellow was Fraser BOWES, the guest for the Tigers. So the result was a 4-2 heat win in favour of the Pirates. So, after one heat, the match score 4 to the Pirates, 2 to the Tigers.
Maybe the key point in heat number 1 was the pass by Tobias Thompson affected ground on the inside of bend number 4 over Fraser BOWES, and that relegated BOWES to the back. We're ready to run on heat number 2. And as you can see on screen, Neil MIDDLEDITCH giving a huge pat on the back to Will Cairns as he comes out onto track. We've got a couple of Tigers there in position already. We've got Cairns on his way to tapes, and we're just waiting for Poole Starke now to make up the quartet as we gear up for the second race here this evening. Remember, 15 heats in the meeting, 14 programme rides, and nominated heat in heat number 15, team manager's choice, and often the best race of the night. Let's see how we go with the lineup in heat number 2.
So here we go, heat number 2. In gate 1 in white is Dayle WOOD, the guest for the Tigers. In gate 2 in red is Poole Starke for the Pirates. Gate 3 in yellow, Freddy HODDER for the Tigers. And on the outside in blue for the Pirates, Will Cairns. I wonder if these guys were watching the first heat and saw how good gates 2 and 4 were in that first heat. The Tigers really did get away well off of 2 and 4. And I wondered if the Pirates duo had noticed.
So the riders in position, we go racing, heat number 2.
Takes her up and away we go. And it's a beauty from the outside from Will Cairns of a 4. He's doing a masterful job going around the outside of Dayle WOOD. Starke is now all over Dayle WOOD's backside in red, but he's in turn. That's Freddy HODDER all over him.
Good clean break from Cairns round the outside to get in front. But the mustachioed man in white there, it's Dayle WOOD. He's hugging his place and holding off Poole Starke at the moment. Freddy HODDER working hard at the back of the pack to get on turns. Starke hustling Dayle WOOD, but Wood's down on the curb and he's preventing any advance that Starke's trying to make in inroads into this one. But this time, Starke looks like he wants to change lines, go to the out, cut to the in, doesn't quite work.
Yeah, he's going to have to change line. He looks a quicker rider, but unless he changes lines, it's like following on a railway track. You can't overtake on track. He now looks to be going for a big one round the outside. Doesn't kind of happen. Wood looks over, but it's blue, white, red and yellow as they come over the line. It's another 4-2 heat advantage to the Pirates here in Heat 2. Wilkins shot away there from the gate.
Yeah, he shot away from the gate. I wondered if he'd perhaps overcooked it a little bit going to the apex of bends 1 and 2, but he kept the throttle on, found the dirt and propelled himself away into the distance. So a good start for the youngster, and Poole take a second 4-2 heat advantage on the night. You can see the riders heading back to pits there. Freddy HODDER in yellow there just coming in. Dayle WOOD taking off his white helmet. Here's your official result, heat number 2.
Yeah, so the official result, heat number 2, it's a win for Wilkins in blue for the Pirates. He picks up the 3 points. Dayle WOOD, a good ride from him. In second place, picking up a couple for the Tigers. In third in red was Poole Starke for the Pirates, and at the back in yellow was Freddy HODDER, who got totally filled in. It's a 4-2 heat advantage in the favour of the Poole Pirates. So after 2 heats in, the match score, 8 to the Pirates, 4 to the Tigers.
So Pirates riders eager to get going. They're the first to the tapes for heat number 3, with Zach Cook there just on the inside, Louis Kerr on gate number 3, and joining them on gate number 2 in the white helmet, that's going to be Dan Thompson. And Dan, who was such an impressive visitor here when guesting for Plymouth 3 weeks ago. Here's your lineup then for heat number 3.
Yeah, heat number 3 sponsored by BIAS Technologies, and in gate number 1 in blue is Zach Cook for the Pirates. In gate number 2 in white, Dan Thompson, the dangerous one for the Tigers. Gate number 3 in red, Louis Kerr for the Pirates. And in gate number 4 in yellow for the Tigers, the ever impressible Leon Flint, who seems to be just getting better and better.
Got to agree with you there, Scotty. Wee Flinty there is certainly stepped up his game this year in this league and in the Premiership with Sheffield. He's doing a sterling job in both locations, and the Glasgow boys will need him on good form here at the stadium tonight. Less than 30 seconds now for the riders in heat number 3. They're just a little bit reluctant to come forward, but being encouraged to do so by the start marshal. So hopefully we'll have action for you in about 20 seconds time.
Yeah, Dan Thompson had a good guesting out in here. I think it was for Plymouth the other week, picking up 13. So he'll be confident here, the rider in white. But here we go. Takes her up and away we go. And it's a good one off the inside from Zach Cook. Can he hold Thompson off? Yes, he can. Sneaking round the curve is Louis Kerr. Cuts the run of Liam Flint off round the outside. Kerr seems to now have bike issues. And it's Zach Cook out front on his own.
Under pressure though from Dan Thompson there. Zach Cook gets away nicely from gate 1, leads Thompson out. We've lost Kerr at the back. Flint was filled in and was going nowhere until Kerr popped out. And as they come round through the pit bend, is Zach Cook leading out ahead of Dan Thompson, with Leon Flint 20 lengths behind at least. So round the final 2 bends in the penultimate lap, Cook leads, Thompson second, Flint third.
Yeah, Louis Kerr was just coming under as well, wasn't he, into 3rd place. So it's a touch of luck there for the Glasgow Tigers, but it's Zach Cook out front, the captain for the Pirates. It's blue, white and yellow as they come over the line.
Winning and making the checkered flag. For the Pirates, Zach Cook.
Tidy start from Cook there. He held off the early attention of Thompson going to the first corner and was able to ride a tight line and bring the race home. But with Louis Kerr suffering a mechanical issue there, you can ill afford that in a two-legged match like this, and particularly at Cup semi-final level. You have to hope that Kerr can get that bike going quickly and out for more points coming up in the meeting. So it's a push home for Kerr at the moment, and you can see there he's just wheeling it back into the pits. We'll come across to the official result for you in heat number 3. I think it comes on screen and it looks something like this.
Yeah, here's the official result of heat number 3. It's a win for Zach Cook in blue for the Pirates. In second, in white, was Dan Thompson, being held off well there. In third, in yellow, was Leon Flint, and failing to finish there in red was Louis Kerr with some sort of mechanical issue. The result of heat 3 was a 3-all heat score, and after 3 heats, the match score 11 to the Pirates and 7 to the Tigers.
Sponsored by Top Class Consultancy, providers of health and safety.
I suppose if we're going to be brutal, we should think that should have been 3 consecutive 4-2s to open the innings, but not to be. Lady Luck doesn't smile on the Pirates that time around. Chance to extend the lead or close the deficit, whichever way you want to look at it now in heat number 4, as the riders move into position. Our gate stats, or meeting stats for heat number 4. Again, it's pretty even in terms of 5-1s, and if anything, the slight advantage goes the way of the visitors in this one, with better 4-2 percentages than the Pirates. Those are the stats for heat number 4. Meanwhile, we've got the riders digging in at the starting gate for the heat, and here's Scotty with your lineup.
So heat number 4, sponsored by Top Class. In gate 1, in blue, is Will Cairns. He won first time out in the reserve heat. In gate 2, Freddy HODDER in yellow for the Tigers. Gate 3, in red, first time we see him tonight, Anders Rowe. And in gate 4, in white, Kyle Howarth for the Tigers.
Yeah, Kyle Howarth, of course, a former Bournemouth Buccaneer back in the day. Now that is blowing the cobwebs off of the records, but one of the places where he started his racing career, and he's proved himself an exceptional fighter for whichever team he represents. So a good man to have in your side, Kyle Howarth. He's got a lot of responsibility in the meetings overall, but as do all the riders as we get ready for heat number 4.
Up go the tapes and away we go, and Howarth has made an absolute flyer from the outside. Our referee has called it back. And I say he made a flyer, was he moving?
Oh, maybe a little bit of a nibble from Will Cairns, but not very much. But obviously the ref has seen something there and brings them back to rerun.
All 4 of them coming back to the line, but 2 riders receiving a warning to remain stationary at the start. The rider in yellow and the rider in blue both received a warning.
Now, I don't know if you heard that through the stadium PA system, but the referee issues a warning to the 2 riders on the inside gates, blue and yellow. A warning for starting gate infringement. So they'll be back at tapes, but they'll be carrying that mantle with them through the rest of the meeting.
I do have to say here, Rob, early doors, gate 4 looks really, really good, and wondering whether the Pirates made the right choice by going 1 and 3 in heat 1.
Only time will tell, Scotty. It's a little bit early maybe to be presumptive about that, but we'll see as the meeting unfolds.
Hey, we're journalists, we've got to ask the question.
Well, yeah, okay, let's ask the question. Should one of those riders been excluded for moving at the tapes in that heat?
No, of course not. Don't be silly. We want 4 rider races. So here we go then. Here's the lineup for heat number 4. Gate 1 in blue, Will Cairns. Gate 2 in yellow, Freddy HODDER for the Tigers. Gate 3 in red was Anders Rowe. And gate 4 in white, Kyle Howarth for the Tigers. Just another chance for Anders Rowe maybe to find another rut to get some starting gloves. He looks to be starting in a brand new spot this time round rather than a rut. Here we go, and away we go again, and Howarth has made another good one. So did Cairns on the inside. Rowe is coming around the outside of Freddy HODDER. Freddy HODDER shuts the door on him. Rowe's going big, high, wide and handsome. Will Cairns takes after.
Howarth leading it out there after a brilliant start of gate number 4. Cairns cuts into second place. Howarth riding nicely there out front. It looks like he's got fresh air and extending his lead over the Poole Pirates, with Cairns in second and Rowe slipping into third place after shooting around the outside of Freddy HODDER there on the first lap. They're coming across the yellow-black flag, 1 to go, and it's looking a pretty safe 3-3 as we go through this race.
Yeah, Howarth looks to have his bike set up beautifully for the track this evening. If this is anything to go by, I'm sure the Tigers fans that are watching on Pirates TV will be over the moon. It's white, blue, red and yellow as they come over the line. It's another 3-all heat score.
Heat number 4 from Kyle Howarth.
And there they are on screen, and there's your race winner on screen. Kyle Howarth doing a grand job there for the Tigers. Nice clean start off of gate number 4. Finds the first bend nice and easy to circulate, and heads off for 3 big points. Here they come in through the pits gate, and Anders Rowe there just shaking his head a little bit. We'll give you the full and official heat result in just a second.
So here's the official result for Heat 4. It's a win for Kyle Howarth in white for the Glasgow Tigers. In second in blue was William Cairns for the Pirates. In third in red, Anders Rowe for the Pirates. And at the back is Freddy HODDER for the Tigers. It's a 3-all heat score was the result of Heat 4, and the match score after 4 heats. The Pirates lead by 4 points, 14 points to 10.
So let's have a look at this one again, and from the gate I think we'll see it's Kyle Howarth who makes the best to start as he heads off towards the first corner there. He finds mid-track and plenty of grip there to take him away and into the front. Will Cairns tucks into a very safe second place, but it's Anders Rowe who had to do the hard work to get around the outside of Freddy HODDER. Rowe having a look just on the inside there to see where HODDER was, but he had enough speed to get over the youngster, and that's the way she wrote as they went off to finish the heat. Freddy HODDER there working so hard as he has done all season for the Glasgow Tigers, but unfortunately doesn't seem to be putting the returns on the table that his efforts deserve, but he's a class rider on his day, and so if he keeps plugging away I'm sure that he'll make it, and we'll see a much more established guy over the course of the next 2 seasons. Here's the tractor out doing a little bit of grading on the circuit. It's been a funny old day weather-wise down here. There's been rain all around the area, but here at the stadium it's been bone dry, and so track prep has been a little bit undecided, if you like. I think they were hoping that some natural watering would take place, but it didn't happen, so the hose pipe and the bowser were out to put the damp stuff down on the circuit.
Yeah, about an hour, wasn't it? About an hour and 15 minutes before the meeting had its last water. And here's the, you did see the gate stats there flash up in the corner. And there's where the points are coming from. Gate 4, very productive, 9 points from there, 2 heat wins, 1 heat win from Gate 3 and 4 points, 3 points from Gate 2 and no heat wins, and just the 1 heat win off of Gate 1. But 8 points, so I think the 1 gate win there was Will Cairns, I believe, in Heat 2.
Yeah, now it's interesting there that we're looking at Lewis Kerr in the red helmet colour, and there's a little bit of frantic work going on there, and they seem to have stripped off the second bike straight away So maybe they found a problem on the number 1 machine that is going to be a bit of a problem going forward. There's looks like a changed tyre, no, or perhaps a used tyre on the back of Kerr's bike there, with a time allowance shortly to be activated. Probably not enough time to resolve what was going on with the first one, and several of the Pirates mechanics are there doing the work to try and get Louis out on the circuit. Not what you want on a semi-final day, but those things happen, and you have to roll with the punches, as they say. So are they moving back to the original bike? Now perhaps they are. So we may be able to find out what the situation is a little bit later on, but at the moment it's Louis Kerr in conversation with Midlow, and off he goes, ready for heat number 5.
I have a feeling, you know, that Louis Kerr is going to test something here on that bike. I believe he's going to do another practice start or something, test something on the bike, and the second bike will be ready just in case it's needed. Yeah, and as I've predicted, Louis Kerr's over there on turn 2 doing a practice start and checking it. He's looked across to the pit gate, give him the nod, so the other bike has stayed in the pit, so Louis Kerr comes round on his first bike.
Well, it's going to need to be fully functioning here because he's got 2 big opponents out against him, and Scotty will tell you who they are.
So heat 5, sponsored by Thowens, our friends, solicitors. At gate number 1 in yellow is Fraser BOWES for the Pirates, for the Tigers. Gate 2 in red is Louis Kerr for the Pirates. Gate 3 in white is the always ever hard pressing, hard charging Chris Harris for the Tigers, their captain. And in gate number 4 in blue, Zach Cook, he won first time out in blue for the Pirates.
So Fraser BOWES there on gate number 1. If you believe Scotty, he's for the Pirates, he's for the Plymouth, and he's for Glasgow, all in one race. So good chap to have in your gate number 1. Sorry, Scotty, I shouldn't be taking the mick.
I know, I was just at a brain freeze there. It was like I had one of those really nice ice creams. Oh, don't get me started on that either.
Oh, no, we're not talking ice creams for games this week. So there we go, riders just rolling up into position. The clock's ticking down now into almost single figures, so we should be off and running any moment now.
A long hold of the tape, but it's a good start off the inside from the Tigers. Fraser BOWES makes it, and now Zach Cook follows up in 3rd, and it's Louis Kerr at the back. Harris has gone high and wide already. He's out in the dirt.
Tigers away on this one. Looks like they're going to register their first big one of the evening. Harris out front, looks very steady, very comfortable. 2 wheels into the corner, pulls it up tight, out in the dirt, and away he goes. BOWES is in behind him. No danger coming from either of the Pirates riders. Zach Cook in blue, Louis Kerr in red. The Glasgow boys look to have this one in the bag. They come round the car park turn with a lap to go. Harris and BOWES doing the business.
They are. Zach Cook is still with them though. Still charging hard. I'm not sure there's anything built out wide just yet for him to be able to pass Fraser BOWES. But you have to say it, the Tigers too really did go hard from the gate. And it's a win for the rider in white, yellow, blue and red as they come over the line.
For the Tigers with a critical heat victory, a maximum win in heat number 5.
It's a max heat score for the Glasgow Tigers, and they'll be over the moon with that. Will the team manager Cami Brown?
One man who won't be over the moon though, I'm afraid, is Midlow, because he'll be looking very hard at Louis Kerr there, because Louis had 2 stinkers to start off with, and he's going to have to turn his form upside down tonight if he's going to make an impact in the meeting. Here he comes in through the gate, and he's stomping his way through, as you can see. Let's go for the official result, because it's heat number 5, a good one for the Tigers.
Yeah, heat number 5, here's the official result. It's a win for Chris Harris in white for the Glasgow Tigers, followed up by Fraser BOWES for the Tigers. He takes 2nd place in yellow. In 3rd in blue was Zach Cook, and in 4th at the back once again was Louis Kerr in red. So the heat score was a 5-1 heat advantage to the Tigers, and the match score after 5 heats, it's now all level. 15 to the Pirates, 15 to the Tigers.
Yes, I'm sure the Tigers will be delighted with the way things have gone after that race. It's down to the Pirates now to try and re-exert some control over the meeting. They put that into the hands of Richard Lawson and Tobias Thompson in this race, but that's going to be no easy task with Carl Howarth on board.
So then, here we go, the lineup for heat number 6, sponsored by Pirate Cast. In gate 1, Richard Lawson in red for the Pirates. Gate 2 in white, Kyle Howarth for the Tigers. Gate 3 in blue, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates. And in gate 4 in yellow is Dayle WOOD for the Tigers. He's sat on 2 points already, and that's the most he's ever scored at Wimborne Road.
If we look at heat 6 statistics, they're out of 12 matches. Very much going in favour of the Pirates there, with race wins, 5 1s and 4 2s. Nothing for the visitors in terms of advantages in heat number 6. So does it bode well for the Pirates? We'll soon see, because the riders are easing their way into position as we get ready to go.
Made a good one. So has Kyle Howarth. We've got one on the floor in the first turn. That looks to be Dayle WOOD.
Let's have a look at it in replay. He was slightly out, I think, of our eye shot. Let's see what happened. Well, a little bit close to blue there. We'll wait for the referee's decision to give you the outcome on that one.
Yeah, our referee Christina Turnbull has the replays up in the referee's box.
Good to see Dale up and walking back to pits. It's an all four restart, and no doubt he'll be given just a few extra seconds there to gather his thoughts. Good to see that no damage done. Difficult situation for the Tigers there, because with Max Perry receiving that very unfortunate injury, it was a very spectacular fall, and I think at the time there was no real concern about him, and it suddenly came on after a few minutes that he was in a bit of a bad way. So we wish Max a quick recovery, but the Tigers having to find a reserve replacement. And not easy with just the 2 points down at the bottom of the order to play with. So casting the net to see who can fill in that slot. And the man from Berwick is the man called upon to do that job today for the Glasgow Tigers. There we are, we're back in pit lane, and you see Richard Lawson there talking about his start in that race, which by his standards wasn't a particularly quick one. Kyle Howarth looking to make it again, but well, chance to go again then for Lawson.
Yeah, Bart checking the tyre pressures there on Lawson's. Bart has been in the pits, lives locally, a former Polish mechanic, and helps out here every week with some rider or another, doesn't he, Rob?
Yeah, I think he's switched over to work with Richard over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks or so. So a very reliable man. He knows the job inside out, and the riders will trust Bart implicitly on his input into their racing setup. So we've got the 2-minute time allowance back on again. And as you can see, Richard Lawson's first out onto track, and no doubt he'll be round to do an extended piece of gardening. He didn't get the best of starts in that last one. He'll be looking to plug his slot to make sure that he gets maximum traction. Here he is, he's coming up to tapes now.
Yeah, he really is having a good dig around there and checking that where he was starting was the best place and tackiest place to get some purchase for that back wheel. I'd imagine he's dropped the tyre pressure a little bit there in the interval between the starts. So here we go. It's the rerun in a Heat 6, sponsored by Pirate Cast. It's Richard Lawson on the inside in red for the Pirates. In gate 2 in white, Kyle Howarth for the Tigers. Gate 3 in blue, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates. And out in gate 4 in yellow, Dayle WOOD for the Tigers.
Yes, and as you see, there's plenty of gardening going on with at least 3 of those riders. But in shot there, Dayle WOOD, and good to see him back up on the bike. No ill effects to his tumble there on bend number 1. We go again here in heat number 6.
Another good one on the outside. Found himself in the same position again.
Well, good to report that Dayle is straight up on his feet. He's taken his goggles off. It looks like he's lost the peak of his crash helmet in that little tumble. And again, it's a bit of a coming together between blue and yellow. And it'd be interesting to see how the referee calls that one. Judge for yourself as they go off to the first bend.
Makes a good start, but as he lifted, it slowed his momentum, and Tobias got there just about the same time. And tough call.
Dayle WOOD there just handing over the cutout to his mechanic so that they can get the bike back to the pits and no doubt get it up on the stand to make sure it's okay to run again. And Dayle takes that familiar walk, the deja vu walk back to the pit gate. I believe referee Christina Turnbull's looking at the videos just to see how that one went. And we'll give you her decision as soon as it's called out here in the stadium. There we go, off to the first bend. Blue going in a straight line towards the fence, and yellow meeting up as they hit the corner.
Yes, indeed.
I think Cami Brown has been into the office to register his thoughts with the referee on the telephone. Richard Lawson there having to do it all over again. Tobias Thompson, well, all 4 riders are going to have to do it all over again. Frantic activity. Sprocket off, do you think?
It looks like a change of sprocket.
Yes, just changing it over, so they're going to do something there to try and get him off the gate a little bit more quickly. Poole Starke there seeing what he can do. Neil Howlett spraying the chains.
Yeah, it's frantic changes there, aren't there? Trying to get that bike off the line. Starts slightly different tonight, not so churned up as they have been as most of the season.
That looks like he's gone up a sprocket, I think. Scotty, do you think he's gone up one?
Definitely looks a bigger sprocket to me. I'm wondering whether he's changed the front sprocket, so maybe the bike could be a bit shorter.
Yeah.
similar gear ratio, but obviously slightly different. Although it doesn't look like Neil had the same sprocket in his hand, I think, that he's put back on that he took off. So it may be just a back sort of sprocket issue.
Interesting, they're warming Lawson's second bike as well. That's a little bit unusual. Tony Starke there on the second bike, getting that one up to temperature. As we go again then, the 2 minutes is on. Fist pumps between Starke and Tobias Thompson. And let's hope for a little bit more luck this time round. And particularly for Dayle WOOD there, who's bitten the shale on a couple of occasions. Fortunately, none the worse for wear. But let's hope that we all get round turn one uneventfully this time. And as you can see, the guys are out. Kyle Howarth there, Richard Lawson on their way round to the start. I think Thompson's out as well. And we're just waiting now for Dayle WOOD, and from our position we can see him pop out of the pit gate. So there you are, that's the two main men in this race, you would have thought. Howarth and Lawson finding the sweet spot on their gates, ready to propel away into the first corner. Here comes the line-up again for you.
So, for the third time basket, here we go in gate one, sponsored by Pirate Cast. They're getting their money's worth tonight. Gate one in red is Richard Lawson for the Pirates. Gate two in white, Kyle Howarth for the Tigers. Gate three in blue, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates. And on the outside in yellow, the guest Dayle WOOD in yellow for the Tigers. So with 10 seconds to go, all the riders now into the gate. Better start from Lawson, that's for sure. Tobias Thompson there with him. Lawson drifts wide. Thompson going for the hole. Tobias Thompson goes for the hole. Well, there's no room. There just looked no room. Wow, wow, wow from the brave Danishman.
Well, they couldn't get a Rizzler through there, but Thompson did, and away they go for the Pirate 5-1. Unbelievable work from Thompson on the first corner. Lawson moves out wide, allows Thompson the inside line. Howarth now sets off after Thompson. Goes very, very wide there and swings it across the corner to try and cut under Thompson, but he's made no ground there. He has got speed, there's no doubt about that. And he goes for the real big one round the outside and the cut back up the in. Running into the first corner together, no. Thompson's just about got enough to hold him off. Howarth with the big one round the outside, no. One wheel off the ground, that's not going to help. Thompson down on the line. We're coming round to finish off. How's it going to finish? It's going to finish with Howarth taking the second place. Brilliant work from the man in white. Scotty, I took your commentary, but it was, I hope you'll excuse me.
No, mate, it was all you. Tobias Thompson just drifted too wide in that last corner, and Howarth gets him by, I don't know, maybe half a bite. Rocket Man oblivious to all what was going on behind him.
Whatever changes they made on Lawson's bike, it certainly paid off, and at one stage there it looked like Tobias Thompson was going to actually crack the icing, but it didn't work. Howarth persisted and came through for a great second place there. Instant first corner there is absolutely fantastic. We've never seen riders go through a gap like that before, but it didn't work out entirely satisfactory. Here's the full result.
So here's the official result of heat number 6. It was a win for Richard Lawson. We knew that in red. Coming home in second, and how hard did he work? Kyle Howarth for the Tigers picks up the 2 points in white for the Tigers. In third, in blue was Tobias Thompson. Not for the lack of trying for the Pirates, and at the back Dayle WOOD in yellow for the Tigers. It's a 4-2 heat advantage in the favour of the Pirates. So the match score after 6 heats, 19 to the Pirates, 17 to the Tigers. And as Cami Brown asked, the Tigers are keeping this tight.
Yeah, look at this one on screen now. It's the final 2 bends. and Howarth, with his wheels in line and his backside right over the back wheel, has enough drive to pip Thompson to the line. So great work from the Tigers number 5. Disappointment for the Pirates, but well done to the Tigers for keeping it rolling. Here we go then, we're on to heat number 7, and this time we're going to have a look at the stats for this race. You can see this time round 25% stat return for the visitors, so that's an indication of how things may go. 3-3 is perhaps the favourite at 42%, but maybe a wink in the direction of the Tigers this time. Here's your lineup.
So heat number 7 is sponsored by Wessex Marine. In gate 1 in white, Dan Thompson for the Tigers. In gate 2 in red, Anders Rowe for the Pirates. Gate 3 in yellow, Leon Flint for the Tigers. And on the outside for the Pirates in blue is Poole Starke.
I think from my perspective here, Scotty, it looks like slight advantage Tigers. We shouldn't prejudge things, but if we're looking at averages and totalling up averages and things like that, I think we're running slightly in favour of the Tigers this time round.
Yeah, I think we can only look at the numbers, I think, and we can look at the numbers on the night as statisticians that we are, and try and make headway of who's got more opportunity or more chance in the heats. But we can look at all the stats on the paper. We don't ride Speedway on paper, we ride it on dirt tracks. Up go the tapes, and here we go. It's a good one on the inside. And pushes Anders Rowe wide. They squeeze him and squeeze him. Starke coming up the outside. It all got very tight there round on the pit bend. But it's the Tigers that are out front.
Yeah, Dan Thompson clean away, and this time Leon Flint finds the ideal run round and follows his partner in. The Pirates got in each other's way, if we're totally honest, round bends 1 and 2. So now Anders Rowe decides the best way to go is round the outside. He switches to the out, now switches to the in, and it's not actually making any inroads, I'm afraid, on Leon Flint. If you're a Pirate, you'll be willing him on a bit harder. Out top, Dan Thompson going like a train. He's spinning away, and it's Leon Flint holding off the attentions of Anders Rowe.
Yeah, definitely made inroads on heat on turn 4 there, did Anders Rowe, but he's got to be close enough going into turn 3. He doesn't seem to be this time. Flint saw the problem. It's a 5-1 to the Tigers. It's white, yellow, red and blue as they come over the line.
Yeah, hands up there. That's a good one for the Tigers. Pirates there getting in a bit of a muddle round the first 2 corners, and it allowed the Glasgow boys to find their positions and head off to put their team in front on the night. So here's your race winner, Dan Thompson. Congratulations to him. And Leon Flint will follow him through in front of the grandstand. He gets some applause as well as the Pirate riders head back into pit lane. So heat 7 done and dusted. And as we watch the riders return to the pits area, we'll bring up on screen the official result for you of this particular race.
So here we go then, the official result of heat number 7. It's a win for the rider in white, Dan Thompson. He gate and went, and second place it was his partner in yellow, Leon Flint, for the Tigers. In third, Anders Rowe in red for the Pirates, and at the back was Poole Starke in blue for the Pirates. It's a 5-1 heat advantage in the favour of the Tigers, and that's turned the match score on its head. It's now 20 to the Pirates, 22 to the Tigers.
Chance to have another look at this one, and it all happened on the first lap really. Tapes up, away they go. Anders Rowe looked like he was trying to get in the mix, but Dan Thompson held him off. He pushed him far enough away to get Leon Flint up the inside. Both the Pirates trying to go round the outside of Leon Flint, and then of course it was cheerio and 5-1 Glasgow. So a bit of a chin wag there in the pits with the Pirates. Midlow just pumping the boys up. He knows the importance of getting an advantage in this first leg. And the Glasgow boys seem to have settled in very nicely after a couple of flusters in the early couple of heats. Big crowd in tonight, as you may well expect, when the Tigers are in town, and it's an important meeting. The Poole faithful are here in their numbers, and how they would like to see their side take a good advantage up to Ashfield in 10 days' time. But there's a hell of a lot of work to do for the Pirates if they're going to achieve that. And as you may expect, the Tigers, well, they'll be battling right the way through to the end to keep things as close as possible. So, interesting so far. What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, a few messages coming in from around the world. A few people watching all over the world. Obviously, Mick and Liz Cook, they've been over here for a few weeks and they're now back home at 4 o'clock in the morning, some unearthly hour, to watch Zach on Pirates TV. We thank you for watching. Javi just sending me a lovely little message. Thanks, Javi. We love you, mate. And yeah, they won't be changing the front sprocket on Richard's bike. It'll be a back sprocket for a change. Thanks for that, Javi. All good stuff. The Chant family are watching at home, unable to get here this evening. Ben and Jack and your families, thanks for watching us this evening. Always glad to have you.
Really good song. Why did you choose Billy Jones? I've spoken to you before, and it's not one of your
And my friends from the pub bar restaurant in Broadstone, the Tap and Grape, have just given us a big thumbs up. They're enjoying their evening here. That's us as well, of course. And the Tap and Grape have said A-OK, and they'll be back for some more Speedway here. They liked the first 7 races and they're anxious to see the next 8 that come their way. So thanks to their support tonight. You always give them a nice plug here on Pirates TV.
And we do have a sad one. I'm afraid we have lost one of our Pirates faithful in the form of Alan Botting, a Poole fan who passed away earlier in the month. Came here every week, and if he couldn't make it here because of illness, he would watch on the stream every week. Our thoughts and condolences go out to the family, wife Marilyn, daughters Sarah, Belkers and Amy, and of course the granddaughters here in the UK and Australia. Our thoughts with here at Poole Stadium from all the Pirates fans are with you, the family, at this very, very sad time.
So there we see the faithful in the grandstand, just waiting for the tractor to go around and complete its laps. And back to pit shots, and there we are. We've got an interloper, Chris Harris, in the pit, seeing if he can find out what's going on the Pirate side.
I think Chris Harris is on the wind up there. I think he's down there winding them all up.
Whilst he winds them up, let's give you a view of a video from a past meeting.
One in white is Sam Masters. In gate 2 in red is Richard Lawson for the Pirates. Gate 3, it's Luke Colleen in from reserve. He comes in here in yellow for the Cheetahs. And in gate 4 in blue, Anders Rowe for the Pirates. So here we go then, heat 13, up goes the tape. Sam gets on Lawson, Lawson sneaks along the curve and takes over Masters. At the back now it's all about Anders Rowe and Colleen. Masters goes for the big one under the fence around the outside. You can throw a blanket over these 4 riders.
The race is on at the front with Lawson trying to find the drive on the outside. Sam Masters nipped tuck at his heels all the way round. Anders Rowe has come into 3rd position, but it's that battle out front with the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson, stealing a march on Sam Masters round the inside of bends 1 and 2 on the first lap. And he's trying to put some distance between himself and the Oxford number 1, but Masters won't give in on him. Lawson trying to find the dirt lines for extra power. Masters trying to find as much power as he can, and we're on to the last lap now.
It's Lawson out front, and now Anders Rowe looks to be catching Sam Masters. Rowe's going to try the Happy Avenue, the big dive on the inside, didn't work. It's red. So here we go then, here's our rider lineup for Heat 8. Sponsored by the Bournemouth Betting Centre, Gate 1, Freddy Hodder in yellow for the Tigers. Gate 2, Will Cairns for the Pirates in blue, gate 3 in white, Fraser BOWES for the Tigers, and in gate 4 in red, Tobias THOMSEN for the Pirates.
So there we go, it's heat number 8. Often a pivotal race, the protected race of course in the programme, and often we see the meetings swing around after this particular heat, but a key one in the overall context of any meeting, but particularly tonight as the sides are so closely locked together.
BOWES and Cairns close together. Oh! I think BOWES hit the tapes first. I think he might have.
We'll soon see.
Start to heat number 8.
There we go. Now we've seen it from a reverse angle there. What does the referee see? She sees the actual starts from a slightly different viewpoint, but she agrees that the rider in white is the rider responsible, and so we have to wait and see whether it's going to be a 15-metre handicap or a reserve replacement. We're told it's going to be the 15-metre handicap. In the meantime, down in front of the grandstand, the rider in yellow in that heat, Freddy HODDER, has got some mechanical issues, as you can see there, and at the moment there's nobody to help him, so poor old Freddy's got to do it on his jack. Oh, here we go. Here's a little bit of it's Dad, isn't it, coming out to help. Now, how lenient is referee Christina TURNBULL going to be in terms of the 2-minute time allowance? That's another good question.
He must have been under power at the start to get himself to where he is.
Yes, certainly there'd have been an exclusion notification otherwise. But he's trying to get going, and so he does. Though I don't know if he's too happy, let's put it that way. So we've got all the riders now back perched at the pit gate. The starting tape seemed to be in order. We don't have any problems down there, so you would think that the 2-minute time allowance would be on fairly shortly. And as you can see, the orange flashing light on the pit wall there indicates to all the riders that the time allowance has been activated. So less than 2 minutes now for the riders in heat number 8.
Back to start line for restarting heat number 8.
Yeah, we've seen those statistics already, and I think we've determined that it isn't usually a good race for visitors, and it's certainly hanging that way at the moment in this one. But anything can happen, of course. Engine failures happen, exclusions happen to turn it on its head. So we won't read too much into that. What we will do is read out the ReRun riders as they come back up to tapes for heat number 8.
Yeah, the strange one for me, Fraser BOWES there. Gate 2 was the poor started gate, so he was desperate to get over Will Cairns there. Just went a little early, but here we go then. Line up for heat 8, sponsored by our friends at Bournemouth Bedding Centre. Gate 1 in yellow is Freddy HODDER for the Tigers. Gate 2 in blue is Will Cairns for the Pirates. Gate 3 in white is Fraser BOWES for the Tigers. He's off 15 metres. And so in gate 4 is Tobias THOMSEN in red for the Pirates. Fraser BOWES just moving into gate 3 position. He was right out under the board. Start Marshall had to bring him over. And away we go. Freddy HODDER got a good one on the inside. Tobias THOMSEN goes around the outside of Freddy HODDER. He's now got to clear off. Try and see if he can get a space for Will Cairns to go underneath. Freddy, he's all over him.
Now it's Cairns who's got to do the work here. Fraser BOWES is closing in slightly, but not significantly at this stage. It's Tobias Thompson out front. Freddy HODDER hanging it down towards the curb. A little bit up in the air that time, and it's giving the opportunities to Cairns. But Cairns is going to have to be careful. BOWES is now closing in on him. Cairns is closing in on HODDER. He goes for the inside pass. Can he make it stick? That's the next question. Comes out to the dirt, opens the throttle, and he gets over HODDER coming down the home straight.
He does make it stick. He gets back on top of Freddy HODDER. What a good race these two British youngsters have given us. He's gone big, wide and handsome. Cairns. It's a 5-1 in favour of the Pirates. It's red, blue, yellow and white as they come over the line.
Yeah, great stuff from those two boys. Good from a Pirate point of view. Bad luck for Freddy HODDER there, who'd done so much hard work. Fraser BOWES at one stage looked like he was going to make up his difference, but all of a sudden he fell away and left it to the two youngsters to battle it out. And here's Cairns over the line on one wheel. And Thompson, well, a semi-donut there. The meeting scores swing around again. Pirates regain the lead, and well, it's nip and tuck, isn't it? I think we probably knew it was going to be, but certainly working out that way. As the riders return to the pits, let's see if we can bring you the official result of that entertaining heat.
So here's your confirmation of the Heat 8 result. It's a win for Tobias Thompson in red, for the Pirates in second in blue. Will Cairns followed him home. In third in yellow was Freddy HODDER. What a ride he had there. Was unfortunate, tried everything he could. Fraser BOWES unable to make an impression from 15 metres, finished fourth in white. It's a 5-1 heat advantage as the result of Heat 8. And after 8 heats, the match score 25 to the Pirates, 23 to the Tigers. This is nip and tuck, ladies and gentlemen.
2 minutes to Heat 9.
So as we come to Heat 9,
In the red helmet colour and tapes on gate number 4.
sponsored in the memory of Ken Griffin, Pirates fan. Gate 1 is Kyle Howarth for the Tigers in white. Gate 2 in blue, Zach Cook for the Pirates. Gate 3 in yellow, Dayle WOOD for the Tigers. And in gate 4 in red, yet to trouble the scorers, Louis Kerr for the Pirates.
Kerr on the outside there is just digging his slot. He needs to make it a good one and get everybody back on side here. As you can see there, number 9 is often a big 5-1 to the Pirates. That's the stats over 12 matches. How they would love to have that again here tonight. And in fact, with the 5-1s and the 3-3s, there's nothing much else to talk about on there.
Yeah, big pressure on Kyle Howarth here in this one. The Tigers relying on him. And gate 1 stats have been very good over the last few heats. 3 wins from gate 1. 2 from gate 3 and 3 from gate 4.
One thing for sure, he's never going to give in, is that Kyle Howarth.
Zach's got an absolute flyer off of gate 2. And coming around the outside is Louis Kerr. He makes it into the 5-1 position. Tear off, he was getting filled in. He's got to go because he's got Howarth on his tail.
Yeah, Cook looks okay out front, but it's Louis Kerr who's coming under threat, and the threat is through Kyle Howarth. Sorry about that. So Howarth doing great work for the Tigers there. He sets off now in favour of Zach Cook up front. Heat advantage to the Pirates, could have been so much more, of course, but we still got a lap to go, and with Kyle Howarth in the race, he can't take it for granted in any way, shape or form. Dayle WOOD a little bit tailed at the back there, but as you can see, Zach Cook's probably got 6 bike lengths on Howarth, and he's got 6 bike lengths on Kerr.
So as they come over the line, it's blue, white, red and yellow. It's a 4-2 heat advantage in the favour of the Pirates.
In heat number 9, Captain Cook, Zach Cook.
Yeah, could have been so much more. Zach Cook there, so fast out of the start. His first 30 metres were absolutely electric, and Kerr coming around the outside to join him brought the home fans' hopes really high. But Howarth for the second time tonight does the stalking and the hunting and retrieves the situation for the Glasgow Tigers. So well done indeed to Kyle. Right under the Pirates on heat advantage, and we'll move across to the graphics now and bring you the result of heat number 9.
Pirates put another 2 points in the bank, and it was a win for the rider in blue.
So here we go, the official confirmation of heat 9 results. A win for the rider in blue, Zach Cook. For the Pirates, in second in white, a hard charging second for Kyle Howarth for the Tigers. Third was Louis Kerr in red for the Pirates, and at the back in yellow was Dayle WOOD for the Tigers. It's a 4-2 heat score. Heat result was in the favour of the Pirates, and after 9 heats it's 29 to the Pirates, 25 to the Tigers. Still all very tight, just 4 points in it.
So counting the 2 minutes for heat number 10 now in red.
So the 2-minute time allowance is on, and out on track Richard Lawson. He's just picking up the gate 4 position, so he's got a long way to go in this one to get around those first 2 corners and sniff the fresh air, because inside of him, as you can see there with the white helmet, is Dan Thompson just finding his slot. Tobias Thompson, the entertainer in the heat number 8, he comes out of gate number 2, and Leon Flint, wee Flinty, has gate number 1 this time round. So 4 good riders in this particular heat, and Scotty will call them for you now.
Yep, here we go. Heat number 10 sponsored by BERJ Digital in gate number 1. Leon Flint in yellow for the Tigers. Gate number 2, Tobias Thompson in blue for the Pirates. Gate number 3, in white is Dan Thompson for the Tigers, and in gate number 4 in red, it's the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson for the Pirates.
So the riders there just extending the gardening time. They're finding that sweet spot that they look for as they come out of the tapes. Lawson there just pushing right through the tape line and stamping down some of the area in front of his grip position. Riders just a little bit reluctant to come forward, but with less than 10 seconds now, then they're going to have to make a move.
Away we go, Lawson and Thompson elbow to elbow. And somebody was going to have to give there, and it looks like Lawson has gone down.
He has. He's on his feet now and walking back to his bike, which has ended up something like 30 metres in front of him. Let's have a look at it again. A little bit of a jump from White there as they go to the first corner, and as they throw into the corner, well, it's a bunching situation. White and red coming together, and we have to wait on the referee's call, see how she viewed that one. I think we might expect
touched
an
his
all
leg
four.
on the way in, didn't he?
Yeah, the call is all 4 riders. Just a little bit of a jump there from Dan Thompson. Nothing really significant. And he made it just about to the first bend before things behind him started to happen. So extra time for Lawson, I guess, to put right anything that may have gone awry. And we'll go again in heat number 10. And I suppose, as you would have expected in a meeting like this, it's nip and tuck, seesawing one way and another. I'm going to put a question to you now, Scotty. Looking at the score so far of Fraser BOWES, I know he's only had 3 rides in the meeting, but how do you think the Danish rider Village Nagel would have stacked up here?
Well, he hasn't visited here, has he? So a difficult one to say. I've not seen a lot of him, so I don't really know what type of rider he is. He's obviously doing okay up there at Glasgow on that type of track, but they tend to be that type of track in Denmark, don't they? Sort of quite deep and flat out. Whether a more technical track like this may have caught him out, who knows? But I would say that probably at the start of the night, and I still feel now that probably Fraser BOWES was probably the better option for tonight's meeting.
Yes, as you say, it's hard to tell. The reports coming down from Scotland, of course, are that he is the real deal. He's got bags of potential. He's a typical Danish rider with immaculate equipment, speaks English perfectly, rides in SGP2, so he's got all the credentials to be a very, very useful rider indeed, and to sign him in on a 5-point average. And I know he's moved up to nearly 7 points now over his meetings here in the UK. I think he could have been the difference tonight, couldn't he? They might still win. The Tigers might still take it, but with Nagel here, then it would have been even tougher for the Pirates. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, it could well have been. Yeah, it could well have been.
You can understand why Glasgow went for Fraser BOWES, though, because his form here in the match against Workington was absolutely excellent. His first time on the track, he settled in immediately. He had one dodgy ride when he lost his steel shoe, but apart from that, he looked excellent.
Yeah, absolutely, and was the difference on the night, really, and kept Workington really in touch for the meeting. So there were 3 on that night that were absolutely brilliant, and he was kind of leading the line with it. So here we go then, just a rerun of heat number 10, gate 1, Leon Flint in yellow for the Tigers, and gate 2 in blue, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates, gate 3 in white, Dan Thompson for the Tigers, and in gate 4, the Rocket Man in red, Richard Lawson. Look at it, Tobias, and he's starting in exactly the same rut as he started in before.
Yeah, he must fancy that one. He must see something there that takes his eye. Got to say that Dan Thompson's come on a bundle, hasn't he, over the course of the last season or so. You know, he's ruthless, he's fearless these days, and brilliant potential, future prospect.
Takes her up and away we go. Tobias has made a good one on the inside. Can he clamp it down? Lawson comes round the outside, and yes, Tobias has kept Leon Flint behind him. Now has he got the speed to stay out there? He is being hunted by the Tigers.
He needs to learn from his last race when Howarth pegged him back. So it's got to be wide, I think, for Tobias here, and much as he can get out in the dirt. It's the Tigers tripping over themselves into 3rd and 4th place, and a little bit of a shock on the cards here, with Thompson leading out, with Lawson leading out from Thompson and putting space between himself and the rider in yellow. That's Leon Flint in 3rd place. They're coming up to take the yellow-black flag, and I've got to say the Pirates are looking sweet.
Yeah, super stuff from the Pirates duo out front, and the Tigers tripping over one another there at the back for this odd point. But it's a win for the Rocket Man in red, Richard Lawson, followed home by his partner in blue, yellow and white at the back. It's a 5-1 heat advantage in favour of the Pirates.
That one's not lost on Lawson, over the line with a fist pump and straight round to bang Tobias Thompson on the back. So he knows the importance of that to race number 10, 5-1. And the Pirates put their noses a little bit further in front. Too early to be counting chickens, but certainly a great one for the Pirates. And Thompson there, well, here we go. What's he doing this time?
Save the tyre, sunshine, save the tyre. You might need another heat yet.
There he goes. The Donut King obliges the Poole public. Great one for Poole, bit of disappointing for the Tigers. But let's cross over to graphics and give you the official result of heat number 10.
Big shot in the arm for the Pirates in heat number 10 with a maximum heat win.
So here is the confirmation of the heat number 10 result. It's a win for the Richard Lawson in red for the Pirates, followed home by his partner, the brilliant Tobias Thompson in blue. He picks up a couple of points in third. Leon Flint in yellow, and at the back, Dan Thompson in white. The result of heat 10 is a 5-1 heat advantage to the Pirates. And the score on the night after 10 heats is 34 to the Pirates, 26 to the Tigers. An 8-point lead for the Pirates.
Manufacturer of metal structures.
Under 2 minutes now for heat number 11.
Heat number 11 on its way to you. I think they're going to be an interval after this one for the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund collection tonight, and that may allow us just a few moments to catch our breaths back and allow you good folks at home to pop out and raid the drinks cabinet or put the kettle on. We'll see what your preference is, but before we can get there, we can get to heat number 11 with Scotty giving us the lineup.
So, sponsored by Link Fabrication, it's heat number 11, and in gate 1 in red is Anders Rowe for the Pirates. In gate 2, the hard charging fast rider in white is Chris Harris for the Tigers. In gate 3 is Poole Starke in blue for the Pirates. And in gate 4 in yellow is Fraser BOWES for the Tigers.
Yeah, you may be asking why no tactical substitute in this one for Glasgow, but in the competition there's no tacticals over a two-legged meeting, so that's the reason why there's no tacticals deployed tonight.
It's going to be a tough race for Anders Rowe, I feel. Going to need to have his skating gloves on here. Takes her up and away we go, and Harris has got over the top of him. Oh, we've got another first bend incident. We've got one down on the floor and the red lights are on. But Starke there actually, after the red lights have come on, I don't know whether Bomber had slowed down. Starke had found a line around the outside of turn 2 and was heading hard after Bomber Harris.
Fraser BOWES this time, tasting the shale.
Well, as Paul Starke has ridden past Fraser BOWES, Fraser's obviously giving him a verbal, and now just having a look at the back end of his bike to make sure everything is okay. So there we go. That's another tumble. I think that's number 4 tonight, so tough stuff indeed here at Poole Stadium, and extra time will be allowed, and we're told it's an all-four rider restart in heat number 11. Have a look at it again. There they go. Chris Harris makes the best start there, turns in nice and early. Anders Rowe trying to get inside of him, but whilst that happens, it's Poole Starke and Fraser BOWES who have a coming together on the outside of the track. Nobody at fault according to the referee, and we go again, restarting heat number 11 once Fraser BOWES has got himself back together.
He was trying the old Darcy Ward line there, wasn't he? Anders Rowe trying to get his wheel as close to the white line, his back wheel, as he could on the fresh stuff to try and propel him forward round the inside of Bomber there. Bomber was all action and all elbows, and as we watch it again, Anders made a good initial jump, but then Bomber had made it across him, and Anders goes round the inside, nearly gets the inside of Bomber, and that left the gap round the outside for Poole Starke, because Bomber was trying to deal with Anders Rowe up the inside.
Yep, there we go. That's another heat that's going to take a few minutes to sort out. Scotty, let's go to another talking point here, and let's talk about the initiative that the Glasgow boys are running at the moment, the Glasgow management, where they're going to be giving out 3,000 free tickets through their own supporters on a trust basis, so that those supporters don't use the free tickets to come in, but those 3,000 tickets are going to be distributed amongst the friends, the family, the businesses, the work colleagues of the Glasgow supporters, in a way of encouraging more people to come and have a look at the sport up there in Glasgow.
Wow, that is a big undertaking, one, to try and get that to work. And you are looking for an awful lot of honesty from your Tigers fans to bring along a friend, so to speak.
Yeah, you probably need about a coach load as well if you're coming along with a friend. But it's brilliant, isn't it? It's an initiative. It's something that's going to promote Speedway and get more people involved. And at Glasgow, they've been doing such a brilliant job over the last 2, 3, 4 seasons since the Christina family have taken the reins there and built the sport into a fantastic venue, a fantastic place to go and watch. Brilliant track, always good racing up there. And who knows, maybe one day we're going to have a Scottish Grand Prix. It would be an ideal place to go and have one up there. And I know I've been there several times. I love it. It's brilliant. The first time I went there, it was the old stadium before any rebuilding had taken place. You went in through a football turnstile with a creaky old rusty turntable in the middle, and you got your trousers all covered in red oxide as you went in. Today, it's a brilliant modern facility as you go in there. All the people up there are very, very friendly. The staff are very helpful. The bar staff, the canteen staff are very willing to talk Speedway with you, and I'm sure when they go home at night or when they go to work, they're talking Speedway to all the people that they're with. So this trust initiative that Peter and Peter Facina is instigating up there to encourage more people to go to the Glasgow Tigers is absolutely fantastic, and I wish them every success, and I hope it brings in a lot more people to the Glasgow in particular and Speedway in general.
For me, it sounds like a new initiative that there's a breath of fresh air, really, to be honest. It seems a great idea. I'm sure that we will all follow with interest how that pans out and where it goes and how successful it is. It would be very interesting maybe for other clubs to be able to sort of follow that model and schedule maybe. If it's a success, I can't see how it can't be.
No, of course, we know it's happened before. Arena Essex at one stage opened up their gates for a free meeting and had a huge crowd, but sadly the following week they went back to their normal crowd. The people didn't stick with it, which is disappointing, but doing it a slightly different way up there in Scotland, well, hope they can monitor the outcome of it, and I hope it reaps benefits for them.
So here we go then, heat number 11, sponsored by Link Fabrication, gate 1. In red is Anders Rowe for the Pirates, gate 2. In white is Chris Bomber Harris for the Tigers. In gate 3, in blue, is Poole Starke for the Pirates, and in gate 4, in yellow, Fraser BOWES, the guest for the Tigers. Super extra guard in there from Anders Rowe. He was actually using his hand to straight dirt into the rut. New one on me, not seen that before. Harris away has got a good one. Starke cuts across Fraser BOWES, chops his momentum off and goes round the outside of turn 2. Fraser BOWES is going big, big, big and deep, and he's right round the outside. Did well to stay on.
Yeah, he was a little bit lucky there. He didn't come to grief, but he's kept it on the island and everything okay at the back. Out front, Bomber's away, and he's doing the Bomber type things that he usually does. Pirates packing in there to a useful second and third place, with Starke and Rowe taking care of BOWES on the first corner really, and they're riding side by side just to keep things in an even keel there. A little bit of smoke from the back of Starke's bike. Hope that's nothing serious.
No, I think it may be overspinning on the bike. I think he's leaving a blue groove down behind him. But yeah, absolutely flying Starke into turn 3 with a lot of commitment. It's Harris that wins it. White, blue red and yellow as they come over the line.
Yeah, there we go. The Bombers on form again. Another 3 points. Seems to like this one here at Poole. He likes a lot of tracks. I'm sure he's got a fantastic style. Whether it's on the shale or on the grass or the long tracks, you can always guarantee a great night speedway from this man. Sharing the points.
I think the technical term is 110% from Harris. I think that's the technical term we use.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do 120%. He'd be going at 900 miles an hour. There he goes, back into pit lane. Congratulations, Bomber. And here comes Scotty with your official result.
Yep, here's the official result of heat number 11. It's a win for the rider in white, Chris Harris, for the Tigers. He picked up the 3 points. In second, a really good ride there from Poole Starke in blue. Pater, Fraser BOWES run round the outside. He comes in second. In third, in red, was Rowe for the Pirates. And in fourth, in yellow, was Fraser BOWES for the Tigers. 3-all was the heat score of heat 11. The match score after 11 heats is 37 to the Pirates, 29 to the Tigers. If you just watch Poole Starke here off of gate 3, he doesn't quite make it, but he manages to find a hole where Bomber had made it so well to squeeze himself through and stop the run of Fraser BOWES in yellow around the outside. That propelled him out of turn 2 to keep him in front of Rowe. Rowe then did a job that was needed on Fraser BOWES and kept him there. But it was Harris at the front. He was the talk of heat 11. He was out front and gone.
So we can see the tractor running around now, and we are now at an interval here at Poole Stadium, and it'll be a slightly extended interval because the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund Collection is taking place tonight. And I think we just tip our hats to Ipswich, who I understand raised over £3,300 on their track night collection, which is an absolutely fantastic achievement by the boys over there in East Anglia. Congratulations to all the Ipswich supporters for digging deep and supporting the Ben Fund, which is such a magnificent organisation in support of the riders who do take a little bit of a tumble and are off track for any period of time. And not only do they look after the boys who have some short-term injuries, but they also look after some of the paraplegic boys and the riders who are on long-term sick. So to the members of the SRFB, Paul Ackroyd and his crew, congratulations on all you do, and from Speedway supporters up and down the country, I'm sure they want to say thank you very much. And here at Poole tonight, it's our turn to dig deep, and hopefully we'll be able to put a tidy sum into your coffers and make it a really worthwhile night tonight. And maybe 2025, despite all of the pressures of financial things around the household, maybe one of the best years ever for the Ben Fund. We do hope so, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for the future. Now, as we got an extended period to cover, instead of us gabbling away here and boring you silly, we're going to put some more action on track by way of a video from a recent meeting.
10 in gate 1 in yellow, Mitch McDermott for the Cheetahs. In gate 2 in blue, Tobias Thompson for the Pirates. In gate 3 in white, Jordan Jenkins for the Cheetahs. And in gate 4 in red is the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson. Huckover takes it, away we go. Lawson's made a beauty. So it's Tobias Thompson round the inside. He's finding a bit of drive there. Pirates are out 1 and 2 again. Cheetahs falling over each other in 3rd and 4th. Can Tobias find the speed to stay in front? He's being hunted down by the Cheetahs.
So Tobias Thompson finds the drive, shoots around the outside of Mitch McDermott there, hammering tongs going down there. Thompson on the line, on the outside. McDermott trying the inside line, but Thompson looks like he's got this one pretty much weighed up, though he can't afford little errors like that. At the back of the pack, we've lost Jens with a mechanical issue of some sort. Lawson out front, Thompson in second. He's got Mitch McDermott still snapping away, trying to find a route through on the inside, and he does it. Thompson responds. He lays over and going into the corner. I've stolen Scotty's commentary. Coming to the line. Another 5-1 with Thompson doing the business yet again.
You have that last lap, my Rob. Well done. Wow, what a race that was. The crowd here in the stands on their feet for Tobias Thompson. Super stuff from him. It's a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson. He was out front having no idea what was going on behind him. In blue, Tobias Thompson was finishing second, and in third,
You're the person that normally does the dedications, but you can't do
There we are, that's a blast from the past. I think it was last week actually, so it's not that far back. But we noticed there's the cheaters on screen, and Scotty, last week Pirates up there at Oxford, and they came away with an away win and finished off their league programme in a good position, but not necessarily top position.
No, absolutely. I think I watched the meeting from home. I watched it on Oxford TV, and yeah, it looked a really good tight meeting. And sometimes I think you feel a little bit for Sam Masters when he's at home. He works so hard, and if he's not scoring 15 or 16 points, and it looks a really difficult job for the team to win.
Yeah, he's a class act, isn't he, Sam, this year? Whether he's in the Championship or whether he's in the Premiership, he's another one of these guys who turns up and rarely has a bad night. And he's been in Speedway in the UK, of course, for many, many seasons now, and he knows his way around all the tracks. And at one time he was a Poole Pirate when he first came over, of course, and he showed some signs there that he was going to be top-notch, and he certainly is a great rider to enjoy. But as you say, Scotty, it's Sam holding the Oxford team together. It's one of those things, if he doesn't have a good night, then unfortunately it looks like they struggle a little bit, and that not necessarily the case last week, because he did a great job to keep his team going, but further down the order, poor old Jordan Jenkins, who's always been good value round Cowley, he suffered a little bit of an injury. Mitch McDermott had one of those nights where he couldn't get going, and it was just a little bit unfortunate and one step too far for the Oxford boys, because the Pirates were solid, and they've done themselves a favour by going there and winning in the league, because they've had a look at the track and they're back there in the BSN semi-final in a couple of weeks' time, and although they're going there in a second leg, they're taking a big advantage. Against 26 points they're taking to Cowley in the next leg, so they must be fairly confident of going through on that and reaching the grand final of the BSN trophy, where of course they are the two-time holders already. One thing that will happen, of course, in that meeting is the return of the suspended Francis Goosts. Now, we've seen Goosts here at Poole absolutely ripping it up, but whether he can do the same when the Pirates go to Oxford on a tighter, smaller track, then that's what we'll have to look out for. But they've done the first part right by getting a good advantage here at Wimborne Road, and then we've got the Pirate Army, the NID group will be up there, I'm sure, at Oxford in big numbers to watch the second leg and to see if they can put Oxford to the sword again.
Happy birthday, Emily and Jensen. Have a fantastic week of celebrations. Next up, a big get well soon to 9-year-old Edward Lawrence.
So, we're back on screen now. This is our last broadcast of the year with Pirates TV. We really enjoy bringing Pirates TV to you, and we thank you for joining us, because without you joining us and following the Pirates on track, we wouldn't be here.
Yes, echo Scotty's compliments. We thank you very much indeed for tuning in. I know a lot of you do it from time to time from way away. We've got Tobias Thompson just shaking the bucket in front of us at the moment. And, well, yeah, I mean, we've come together this year really as co-commentators. We hope that you've enjoyed us doing it that way. Previously, we've I've been over in the pits with the riders. Beth's now doing that job when she can, and we hope that we're bringing a production to you that you feel is value for money. As we say on many things, you know, if you like what you see, tell the world, put it on your socials, let everybody know that things are great at Poole Speedway, and come down and sample it for yourselves. The other thing, of course, is if it's not quite right in your view, don't sit at home behind your keyboard bashing away and making silly comments. Make a sensible comment to the management so that they know what you're thinking, and do make a suggestion on how you can put it right. It's no good moaning about something if you haven't got something that you can say that could help the situation. So yeah, from us on Pirates TV, it's been a pleasure to be with you. We've seen some fantastic racing here tonight. Well, we've seen fantastic racing over the course of the season. We had a little bit of a disappointment when Oxford came here earlier on, and that perhaps gave the Pirates a kick up the bum, and it woke them up, and off they went, and they've ended up at the right end of the league table as always. So from Pirates TV, I think it's been a good season for us. We'll be working on different things, new innovations over the course of the winter. If you've got any ideas that you want to pump into us so that we can maybe do something a little bit different, if it's entirely possible and within budget, and there isn't much of that about, but if it's possible, tell us what you think, and then we'll be very, very happy to look at that and consider it.
Yeah, you've got to remember that Pirates TV is its own entity, and obviously Rob and I are massive Pirates fans, and we're not trying to be TNT because obviously we don't have the budgets. We probably don't have anywhere near the budget of BSM. We're just trying to be ourselves, and so the way that this concept works is we can be ourselves. So, you know, you're the viewer, you're why we're here, and we want the feedback to, if there's any features or anything that you feel we can do nice and easily to enhance your viewing. That's what it's all about. We want to bring this to you and enhance your viewing. So if you do have ideas, we are welcome to them. Like, it was an idea last year to bring two into the commentary, and that's what we've done this year, and Rob and I have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed breathing on each other all year. Usually he would be over in the pits and doing his thing, and I was over here holding the fort. So for me, it's been absolutely superb. Beth has obviously come in midway through the season, and she's been doing her bits when it's been possible over in the pit. So yeah, we feel we're improving, but we'd like you to help us help you. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, agree entirely, Scotty. Tell us what you think, and we'll do our best to implement your ideas as part of our broadcast. As you can hear probably in the background here, the atmosphere is being pumped up. Our pretend pirate Lee Tyers is winding the crowd up here, and he's doing a great job of it. I think Nigel Lee's probably trying to participate as well, but Lee's the man who's got the gift of the gab to make things happen. You can see them down there on the centre of the Greyhound track. And here we go, there's a bit more winding to go. Let's let you listen in to see what's happening. It might give you a little bit of entertainment.
Over to you, Lee. Right, okay. After 3, you need to shout Poole as loud as you can. And then Nigel's side is going to shout Pirates as loud as they can. And we'll get it going back and forth, okay? And we'll get a nice Poole Pirates chant going. Okay, the guys need your energy. We want to get that big lead to take up to Glasgow. So, here we go. So, Poole on 3, okay? 3, 2, 1. Let's do it together. Poole Pirates in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Who are we here to support? That was a good experiment. So can we get them dancing next week, do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, we're almost moving into Polish territory here, aren't we? With the fan. Next thing, we'll have a drummer on the Greyhound track banging out a beat like they do in Poland, and we'll be providing everybody with a scarf to wave over their head Polish style. So it's only good though, and it's got to be good for the evening and not good for the entertainment.
Absolutely. I find the Polish stuff really funny because they actually knot the scarf, don't they, and start swinging it around their head, and it looks more like a weapon where I'm from than actually a sort of cheering for your team. But very relaxed Will Cairns there, getting ready for his next heat.
I got to tell you, Scotty, that as you know, I went to Poland 3 weeks ago and had a weekend over there watching the racing, and we went to a place called Krosno, which is down in the southeast of Poland, not far away from the Ukrainian border. And we know that some of the Polish fans are nutty, but if you go to Krosno, you're going to get hit on the head by flying scarves. They must sell millions of them from the club shop, and everywhere you go down in Krosno, they're throwing their scarves around. There was one heat that got stopped because one of the Krosno riders got excluded, and there was more scarves on the track than there were people in the stands. It was incredible to watch. So I don't think we've got that far yet here in the UK, but well, Poole Speedway is something else.
We've got a Mexican wave going on around the stadium now.
Brilliant. No, we're going to have to get some more semis and back here and hold it right there. Right, I've seen them do this.
Yeah, more action, but yes,
All right, we've been asked
still a way to go here for till the end of the meeting.
You'll be seeing them. This is what you paid to come and see. Thank you guys for your
Let's
participation.
take a break and throw to a video of a past meeting.
One in yellow, Luke Colleen for the Cheetahs. In gate 2 in blue, William Cairns for the Pirates. Gate 3 in white, Jai Etheridge for the Cheetahs. In gate 4 in red is Tobias Thompson. And away they go. Colleen's made a good one off the inside. Round the outside goes Tobias Thompson. He's going to cut it off. Will Cairns comes up the inside of Jai Etheridge in white. Pirates on a 4-2. Colleen's not done here. He's after Tobias.
Good battle up front here, Thompson and Colleen. Thompson out wide, Colleen on the line, and the two are going at it this time round. The Dane with his leg back style. The Crazy Viking seems to have made a slight dash for the front with a couple of lengths in front. It's Will Cairns in third place, and he's tailing off Jai Etheridge at the back. So advantage Pirates as they come around the car park turn, and with Luke Colleen down low, Thompson up high, there's a lap to go.
Tobias Thompson out front, absolutely stretching that throttle cable on that motorcycle of his in red. He is absolutely giving it everything here tonight, and he's going to take the win. It's red, yellow, blue and white as they come over the line. That's the order for Heat 8.
A dual celebration. Don't think we've seen that one before.
Anybody for donuts? Don't mention donuts here in the commentary box. The result is a win for Tobias Thompson in red for the Pirates. In second, in yellow, Luke Colleen for the Cheetahs. In third, Will.
So there we go, the tractor out on duty, just heading back to pits, I think, or it's pit bay, let's put it like that. And we've got Sweet Caroline banging along in the background here, and you see the fans there just singing along, waving their mobile phones, and we're winding the atmosphere up, or Lee Tyers is winding the atmosphere up as we go to the final 4 races in the programme today. And it is building up nicely, isn't it, into a great climax for the meeting. Just to quickly say, Javi, thank you very much for the message that you sent through to Scotty. Much appreciated, and we keep doing our best for you, mate.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you down here, mate. Hopefully you can get down here at the end of the season, and we can have half a shandy.
Whiskey shandy.
I didn't say that, Javi, he did.
Yeah, it was me. It was me. Okay, here we go then. We've got riders out on track. We've got red lights on as well at the moment. So what does that mean? I'm not quite sure, really.
So here we go then. Here are the runners and riders for heat number 12, sponsored by Flies Electrical Limited. In gate 1 on the inside is red, and it's Louis Kerr for the Pirates in gate 2. Dayle WOOD in yellow for the Tigers. Gate 3 in blue, it's Will Cairns for the Pirates. And in gate 4 is in white Dan Thompson for the Tigers. Will Cairns got told to move over there by our start marshal. He's had to go over a wheel width, so he's now redigging and rechecking.
I'm not sure, Scotty, but I think the riders may have come out ahead of the 2-minute time allowance going on. So there's no 2-minute warning, 2-minute clock counting down at the moment. And I wonder if that might be the reason why the red lights came on just temporarily. But there's no numbers on the clock. We've got all the riders at the gate. We're ready to go racing.
Absolutely, it's a good one off the inside from Louis Kerr. Going around the outside is Dan Thompson, and at the back is Will Cairns. He's now got to try and make some inroads in on Dayle WOOD. Louis Kerr takes chase to Dan Thompson.
Yeah, so Dan Thompson going okay up front. Dayle WOOD getting all out of shape there, and Cairns has got an opportunity at the back to come through. He hasn't quite made it, and he's run a little bit wide that time, but he needs to put the pressure on Dayle WOOD if he's going to achieve anything. Up front, Dan Thompson going well. Louis Kerr tucked in a safe second place, and now Dayle WOOD starting to edge ahead of Will Cairns and make his third place position look fairly safe. One to go.
Yeah, it's an important one at the back, that all-important point. Cairns tries a big wide run around the outside, nothing really there. Really dives up the inside in turn 3, but it's a win for the rider in the white. It's white, red, yellow and blue as they come over the line, and the Tigers reduce the deficit once more.
Yeah, I think that was pretty predictable really that Dan was going to get home in front there. He made sure though, fine style, so he's helped the Tigers reduce the deficit, and an important third place there for Dayle WOOD in yellow, overcoming young Will Cairns. As you can see there, the riders just coming in from their heat, and we'll nip over to the graphics screen and we'll bring you the official outcome on race 12.
Yeah, here's your confirmation of the Heat 12 result. It's a win for the rider in white, Dan Thompson for the Tigers. A good win for him. In second, Louis Kerr in red for the Pirates. In third, in yellow, a vital point for Dayle WOOD and the Tigers. And in blue at the back was Will Cairns. So, Heat 12, the result was a 4-2 heat advantage in favour of the Tigers, and they reduced the deficit on the overall score after 12 heats. 39 to the Pirates, 33 to the Tigers. Pirates lead by 6 points with 3 to go.
We look down the length of pit lane, and coming towards us in the blue helmet colour is Anders Rowe, and he comes out on track. He's the last man to show. We've got the other 3 guys just easing round towards the starting gate if they're not already there. And as we always say, Heat 13, well, it's the big one, isn't it? You get all the great riders coming together in this one, and this time round it's Chris Harrison, Kyle Howarth and Richard Lawson and Anders Rowe. Let's go to Scotty, who'll give you the official rundown.
So here's your Heat 13 runners and riders, sponsored by Global Heating. In gate 1 is Chris Harris. He's been brilliant tonight for the Tigers in white. In gate 2 in red, Richard Lawson, yet to be headed by an opposition rider. In gate 3 in yellow, Kyle Howarth. He's on 7 points, riding nicely tonight. And on the outside in blue is Anders Rowe for the Pirates.
There we go, the rider's just digging in there, and Anders Rowe nearest to us. 3 paid 5 tonight from his 3 starts. I guess he might be a little bit disappointed with that, but he's got an opportunity here to make amends. He'll need to be a brilliant ride if he's going to pump his score up to bigger numbers, because he's got 3 riders inside him who are quite capable of downing his colours. So the riders settle, we're off and running in heat 13.
Up go the takes, and it looks a good break for the Pirates. Can Rowe get round the outside of Howarth? Howarth chops him off, comes back to the inside. Lawson's going to have to tuck down and stop the run. Here comes Anders Rowe up the inside of Howarth. This is a good race.
Lawson leads it out. Bomber Harris goes wide to the very far outside. Lawson looks over his left shoulder. He sees he's got 2 bikes on Harris. Tucked into 3rd place, Carl Howarth. He's holding out Anders Rowe at the moment. All 4 riders really going for it. Lawson finds the dirt line on bend number 2. Gets his wheels in line, and he's away down the back straight in front of Harris. Harris tucking in a little bit tighter there, but not making an impression on Lawson. Over the line, 1 to go.
Yeah, definitely Lawson out front, riding a special line, and he's got Harris all over him, but as Harris only has 2 turns to do anything, he goes up high, but it's Lawson brings it home. It's red, white, yellow and blue at the back as they come over the line.
And there we go, there's Richard Lawson in shot. He locks in his 4th race win so far. But unfortunately, partner Anders Rowe trailed back, and so a shared heat. I guess that the Tigers will be fairly happy with that one. Chris Harris colours lowered for the 2nd time this evening, but still a shared heat, and the Tigers within striking distance still. Let's go to the graphic screen and bring up the results for you with Scotty.
Yeah, so here's the confirmation of the Heat 13 result. It's a win for the rider in red. It's the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson, as the tune goes belting around the stadium here. In 2nd place in white, and not far behind was Chris Harris for the Tigers. In 3rd in yellow was Kyle Howarth for the Tigers, and at the back in blue was Anders Rowe for the Pirates. 3-all was the heat score of Heat 13, taking the progressive score on the night. 42 to the Pirates, 36 to the Tigers. The Tigers have still kept it within 6. They'll be pleased with this so far tonight.
Counting 2 minutes for Heat 14, a change to the Tigers. A reserve change sees Dayle WOOD.
So you may have heard there through the stadium announcer, there's a change in heat number 14 in the yellow helmet, which Scotty can read out for you now.
So in Gate 1 in blue, Maybank Properties are our sponsors of Heat 14. Gate 1 in blue is Poole Starke for the Pirates. Gate 2 in white is Leon Flint for the Tigers. Gate 3 in red is Zach Cook for the Pirates. And in Gate 4 in yellow is Dayle WOOD, the reserve change for the Tigers. Having a good night here, Dayle WOOD.
Yeah, battling as hard as he possibly can as a guest rider, and hasn't let anybody down tonight. Not a big score, but certainly a rider who's been in the mix with several incidents, and he's done his absolute best for the Tigers tonight. But the spotlight turns now to the Pirates. They've got a 6-point advantage. They would dearly love to extend that to go to Scotland, but with 2 big heats to come, anything can happen, and the riders there just getting themselves together. Less than 20 seconds out on the clock, and they'll be at the tapes and raring to go.
Takes her up, and here we go, and it looks a good one for the rider in white, Leon Flint. Poole Starke pushes him, holds back on the inside, and it looks like Zach Cook going up the inside. Flint goes down.
Race stopped in the interest of safety. Leon Flint down, but tell you he's back up on his feet again, just going to collect his machine. It was a pretty high-powered race down the back straight, a drag race indeed. Make your own minds out of what happened here.
Leon Flint that time before managing to pick himself up.
Down to who's in front, I think, and difficult to say.
There's Leon, he did get back up on his feet, but he's down on his haunches again. Referee will now take a good, long, hard look at the replays on this one.
It looked like there was a gap there to go through for me from here, but not the best camera angle for us.
No, and not for the referee either. It was at the most distant point of the circuit, really. So, yeah, Christina TURNBULL has got a big decision to make here. I hope she makes the right and fair one.
Looking at where Flint's wheels were on the track, he was mid-track, mid to outside. There looks to be an absolute.
Well, there are cheers around the stadium, and I don't think cheers are really appropriate there, but it's Leon Flint who's adjudged to be the rider at fault there, and he is disqualified from the restart for 3 riders only. So a body blow there for the Tigers in heat number 14. The referee's looked at the camera angles and made her decision. So we go again, 3 riders in heat 14.
What was going on there down in turn 3? Freddy HODDER having a word with 1 or 2 fans, saying hello, how are you? Nice to meet you.
He's probably getting the old Laurel and Hardy cuckoo waltz, isn't he, as they go past there. Here's Cam, he's come out of the telephone room.
I think the whole thing here is watch how wide Flint goes in. That's the bit for me, and leaves the door wide open.
Yes, bad luck on Leon there. I mean, racing like that is going to happen, isn't it, when you get to this sort of calibre of meeting. That could quite easily have been the other way round. If a Poole rider had been on the outside and gone in the same way, that could have been an exact replica in reverse. So I got some sympathy there for Leon Flint. I mean, he did his absolute utmost there, but as it's to be, it's a disqualification and 3 only.
All right, the 2 minutes is on. We're heading back into heat number 14, a restart with 3 riders only.
So that incident has opened the door for the Poole Pirates. It's also offered the opportunity for Dayle WOOD to become an honorary Scotsman for the night, because it's Dayle WOOD who's going to have to go it alone for the Tigers in this one, and he's going to have to do it from gate number 4. So the odds stacked heavily against the guest rider tonight, but we discount nothing in this sport, and Dayle WOOD will be encouraged by his teammates to do his absolute utmost for his Tigers, whilst the Pirates will have had words in their ears from Neil Middleditch.
So here we go then, heat 14, sponsored by Pavement Properties. On the inside in blue for the Pirates, full start. No rider off of gate 2, having fell and it been excluded by our referee Christine TURNBULL. In gate 3 in red, Zach Cook for the Pirates, the captain, and in gate 4 in yellow, Dayle WOOD for the Tigers. The riders now wait for that 2-minute clock to tick down, don't they? They don't go in.
Yes, so frustrating, and it's almost an argument as they've done in the Grand Prix to knock it down a bit, and make it either 90 seconds or 60 seconds.
Here we go then, heat 14 is up and away. And the Pirates duo lead. Poole Starke goes around the inside. Zach got a bit of grip round the outside. And Pirates on a 5-1. Dayle WOOD takes chase. The lone tiger in yellow.
Starke there looking over his right shoulder to see where the opposition is. It's about 8 lengths back at the moment. And he's sandwiched in the middle of Cook at the front in red and Wood in yellow at the back. So they come over the line. Zach Cook going well tonight, and I've got a feeling he might be a contender for heat number 15. Starke in second place, taking it a little bit gingerly, but just keeping it going enough to stay well in front of Dayle WOOD. And Dayle WOOD never giving up the chase and going well, but not quite well enough this time round.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Zach Cook, Captain Marvel out front for the Pirates. He's going to win this one in red. Followed by his partner in blue, and yellow comes in third place for the Tigers and the former Dayle WOOD. Heat 14 is a maximum heat score for the Pirates.
So riders returning to pit bay there. Zach Cook going into the pits area, and here comes the bike. You almost know that he's out in the next one, don't you? And MIDDLEDITCH just speaking to both of his riders as they come in. Danny Ford there as well, and Richard Lawson giving congratulations to the 2 riders there. Let's go over to graphics and have a look at the official result of this Heat 14.
So here's the official result, Heat 14. It's a win for the rider in red and the Poole captain, Zach Cook. He picks up 3 points. In second, followed home by his partner in blue, Poole Starke. He picks up a couple. In third was Dayle WOOD in yellow for the Tigers. He picked up the solitary point. And obviously, being excluded, the rider in white was Leon Flint for the Tigers. It's a 5-1 heat advantage going in the favour of the Pirates. And after 14 heats, it is now the Pirates 47. The Tigers 37. The Pirates take a 10-point lead going into Heat 15. And as you can see, an absolute flyer of a start from Zach Cook there. Gets a little bit wayward out on the pit turn and had to go sideways on the exit. But he was lucky it was his partner looking after him on the inside in the form of Poole Starke in blue. As we now look through the pits and we try a little guessing game to see who's coming out. I'm 100% sure that we're going to see Richard Lawson.
Yep, so am I. I wonder if he's had his fruit salad today. Richard
Is that
does
the sweets or the actual fruit?
No, oh no, that's real fruit.
Oh, good.
You know, he doesn't drink Monster or any of those other energy drinks. He goes in Marks and Spencer's and buys himself a fruit salad, you know, mango and pineapple and all those good things.
To be fair, I'm not so sure that the Monster people even drink the Monster in those bottles. I reckon it's water.
Well, you're the expert. I mean, you're in with the Monster crew, Scotty. You probably know the ins and outs of energy drinks. You know, being a professional darts player, I expect you're up on stage there with your Red Bull and your Monster.
No, not quite. Not quite.
What about a cup of tea with 2 sugars?
Cup of tea with no sugar for me, or it's a coffee usually. I usually need the caffeine to fire me up.
I think there's 4 riders out on the track who might need a bit of caffeine, don't you? Because heat coming up. It's going to be a good one, isn't it? 10 points in it, and would Glasgow taking 10 points at this stage coming into the meeting? Will they take 10 points at the end of the meeting? It's just on that sort of balancing point, isn't it, of being good and bad. 5-1 to Glasgow in this one, of course, brings it down to 6, and that would be a real bonus. We've got Kyle Howarth there in shot. It looks like he's got the white lid. We'll wait for the confirmation, of course, but, well, on it goes. So I think we know what's going to happen there. And, of course, we also got to think about choice of gate positions, which go Glasgow's way in this one. Where are they going to pick to go from? Tough, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose the gate stats, we're lucky enough to have them. Are they having a discussion about which gates to pick? Is that what's going on? Cami Brown stood there. Seems to be a conflab.
Big crowd in, as we've previously remarked on, and it's one of those that you can't just walk away from. I think Scotty's got the numbers here, and that might tell a tale or two.
Yeah, we seem to. Gate 4 has 5 wins from it, according to my little stats and records here this evening. Gate 3 has 3 wins, Gate 2 has 3 wins, and Gate 1 has 3 wins. Points-wise, we're looking at Gate 1 has got 27 points this evening. Gate 2 has 20 points this evening. Gate 3, although it's had 3 wins, only picked up 16 points this evening. And Gate 4 has picked up 21. So, do you pick the 2 even gates 2 and 4 at 20 points and 21? Or do you pick up the fast gate in Gate 1 at 27 points and the slow gate in Gate 3 with only 16?
Yeah, don't know. Conundrum. One of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's the stats for you on screen as Scotty has given them out. You see Chris Harris there. He's on track in yellow. So we've got the lineups more or less completed. There's Zach Cook for Heat 15, and we thought that may be the case. And I guess it's going to be 1 and 3 for Glasgow. Certainly looks like that, the way they're lining up. Interesting stat there. Visitors in 12 meetings have never scored a 5-1 in Heat 15. Here's your official lineup for the last race of the evening.
So here we go. Heat 15, sponsored by Upright Scaffolding Services Limited. On the inside in Gate 1 in white for the Tigers is Howarth. Gate 2 in red is Richard Lawson for the Pirates. In Gate 3 in yellow is Bomber Harris for the Tigers. And in Gate 4 is Zach Cook in blue for the Pirates. And Javi has messaged me saying he thinks Gate 2 is the best tonight. And I would pick Gate 2. So let's go with Javi, eh? We've got the Rocket Man off of Gate 2. And he'll be looking to make it to first corner in front of those two. But Howarth has been quick tonight.
I'm just tossing over in my mind now whether maybe Dan Thompson may have been an option for the white helmet here. When he gets to the front, he is good, and he's been pretty sharp out the starts tonight. Apart from one dodgy ride he had with Leon Flint, Dan's been pretty solid. I wonder what made Cami go this way. Be interesting to pick his brains and find out. We'll never know, perhaps, but riders at the line, we'll soon see how things pan out.
I'm envisaging Javi off of Gate 2 now, trapping the guy on the inside of him, and then coming up the Javi Avenue in turn 4 and letting his rider go around the outside. When we come back to tonight, and away we go. Zach's made an absolute flyer from the outside. Gate 1 has been absolutely brilliant. Lawson goes up the inside of Howarth, makes a hole. Bomber's coming up through 2. That was tight going into turn 3. This is amazing speedway, ladies and gentlemen.
Zach Cook needs eyes in the back of his boots because both those Tigers are hammering away at him. Lawson slowing the race, if anything. Get away if you want to at the front. Bomber's in the normal Bomber position, about an inch from the fence, and Zach Cook's covering off all avenues at the moment. So round they go on the turn for the pitch turn. Cook gets his nose in front. They go down the back straight. It's going to be 1 to go as they come over the line. Can the Tigers strike back?
Oh, the fans are going bananas here. They're jumping up and down. They do not know which way this race is going to go. It's the Pirates out front. Can they hold on for a big, big 5-1? It looks like they will. It's a win for the Pirates. It's red, blue, white and yellow. The crowd are absolutely jumping up and down here. Even the riders on the infield are going bananas. The teammates are going mad. Dan Ford's on the infield. I don't think these two guys are going to make it back to the pits. They're going to be hauled off the bikes here, I reckon, by the start straight. I really do.
Pick the bones out of that one then. Where did it go wrong for the Tigers? It all went wrong around those first two corners, I'm afraid, with choice of gates. They didn't quite make what they should have done. And Lawson there, in his typical fashion, heads out to make things happen. And then Zach Cook turns it inside out round turn 1 and 2 and joins his partner up front. And as hard as those Tigers might try, they weren't able to get there. Here's your official result.
So here's the official result. Heat 15, what a race that was. It was a win for the rider in red. Off at gate 2, Javi. He gets the 3 points in form of Richard Lawson. Gate second place was in blue, Zach Cook for the Pirates. In third, the hard-charging Kyle Howarth. He never gave up at any point. And but Chris Harris at the back in yellow. It was a 5-1 heat advantage to the Pirates, with the result of Heat 15 taking the final match score to 52 to the Pirates, 38 to the Tigers. 14-point lead going into the second leg of the Maxi Cab Knockout Cup semi-final leg 2, and we'll watch from here. And Rob, what a start from Zach.
Yes, he's been gating out the gate well all night. But look here, there goes Lawson around the inside, and he just does enough to keep Carl Howarth out at bay. Zach Cook resists the strong channels there from Chris Harris, and from there on in it was Zach Cook having to ride the perfect line to keep both those Tigers at bay, and he certainly did that. And away they go into the sunset, and it was all she wrote, really. Much as those Tigers tried, it was a great performance from both the Pirates to get home with a big 5-1. And that result, of course, comes on the fact that two of the Pirate heat leaders, Louis Kerr and Anders Rowe, have only registered 3 points between them. Quite a team performance.
Yeah, let's go through the team scores here. Harris going great tonight. He picks up 10 for the visitors. Fraser BOWES, only the 2 plus 1 for him tonight. Dan Thompson, 8. Super job from him. Leon Flint, unfortunate in that last ride with his exclusion, 4 plus 2 for him. Howarth, hard charging all night, never gives in, 9 plus 1 for him. Dayle WOOD scores 4 points, the most he scored here at Wimborne Road. So good for Dayle WOOD. Freddy HODDER picks up just the 1 point. We go across to the Pirate side. It's another 15-point max for the Rocket Man, Richard Lawson. You just cannot fault that man. Tobias THOMSEN, good night for him, 7 plus 1. Louis Kerr really wasn't on at the races in the first couple, picks up 3. Zach Cook, once again, Captain Marvel, 12 plus 1 for him. Anders Rowe wasn't with us a little bit tonight, 3 plus 2 for him. Tough night for him. Paul Starke again doing his bit, 5 plus 1 at reserve, and Will Cairns picking up 7 plus 1 to make that 52 points for the Pirates. So as you can see, a large crowd now leaving as your match result, 52 to the Pirates and 38 to the Tigers, and take a 14-point lead, Rob, up to Glasgow.
Yeah, 14-point lead. Didn't look like it was going to be 14 points at one stage, with the Tigers clawing their way back into the meeting, leading at one stage, and then from Heat 8 onwards the Pirates turned up the heat and come up with that lovely win. For those of you just watching the stream, is our ticker going through the bottom with all the people who've been involved, and we've all been here throughout our season. We hope that you've enjoyed what we presented to you. As we say, this is likely to be our last production of the year because BSN will be here covering future meetings. We do thank you sincerely for all the time that you've given to us and all the subscriptions that you put through Pirates TV. So before I close, I'm going to pass over to Scotty, but I'll just say good night, everybody. Have a safe trip home and see you all next time.
Yeah, good night, everybody. We can't thank you enough for watching for this 2025 season. We are nothing without you watching us, and we're not here. So please, please, please continue to support Pirates TV. We love having you, and we love bringing you the sport into your TV sets at home. All that's left for us to say is good night from the whole production team for 2025, and all fingers crossed we will see you again in 2026.
inside, outside, he played it up.